Hello and welcome back to ESL Studios in Sydney, Australia for the ESL Australia and New Zealand Championship Season 1 Finals for Counter-Strike Global Offensive. I'm Sam, and once again I'm joined on the analyst desk by Sniper and by Jim Nesso. Boys, we saw Atletico probably didn't bring the game that they wanted, but they're not gone. We see them again tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I asked you earlier, and you're like, you know what? There's the potential here for Atletico to come through, swipe the lower bracket right clean, and potentially find themselves in the finals.
Definitely. I mean, that might have been a no-show from them, and they're going to have to write that off. But there's a very good potential that they could just come through that lower bracket and just mop the floor with them.
Yeah.
And then end up meeting Parallax again in the finals. And hopefully they've learnt something from those, as much as they can from that. That was a bit of a whitewash. But hopefully they've learnt something and they can get back to putting it to Parallax and maybe make it a bit closer at least.
Yeah, and if they are going to achieve that, they need to beat at least one of these two teams that we're about to see, Chiefs and Exile5. Jim, how are you feeling about this matchup?
Well, maybe it was all an elaborate ruse from Atletico, and they're not showing their cards until tomorrow. But in this matchup here, Exile5 up against Chiefs, I also feel that falls into the same category as the last, but I think the context here is a little bit different. Yeah. I say it falls into the same category because both these teams, really, it's too tough to split them on merit alone and the form of both these teams. But I think how the map veto plays out will actually have a big factor in this one.
Yeah. Why do you think that's the case? Obviously, it's always the case, but how do you think that's going to play out in an important way?
Yeah, definitely. I think the map veto will play an important factor simply because both these teams are still, I guess, in those formative stages, particularly Chiefs because they're lacking their in-game leader or former in-game leader. They're going to have to go back to a very basic structure. They're not going to rely on those execute-heavy maps such as your cobblestones and even to a lesser extent your overpasses or tunnel. But either way, they're going to stick to the very basic core maps. Yeah. So your Acacias, your Mirages, your Dust 2s, something like that they don't really have to rely on any sort of intricate strategy. Whereas Exile5, I think, have a slight upper hand in that. I just don't think they've got the firepower to match Chiefs. So I think that's how it balances out.
What about you, Sniper? We saw, I think, Exile5 beat Chiefs recently online, but Chiefs are often strong on LAN.
Yeah. So Chiefs have always been that team. They just come to LAN, and then next thing you know, they're in the final or the semi-final. They're just fine form on LAN. But unfortunately, this is a very different Chiefs. This version of Chiefs is one that's gone through multiple lineup changes, and they've been through a few events, and like Jim said, they don't have their in-game leader Dexter, who basically used to carry the team together strategically, make sure everything was happening, and then you'd have Destiny, who'd be going off and doing his own sort of thing, much like Team Immunity used Ricky in a way, because they just had that raw skill and a great understanding of the game. Now, they're coming up against Exile5. They're very similar to Parallax. They try to go for more of the tactical route rather than the raw firepower route. They don't have the guys to do the raw firepower route for a start. But at the end of the day, we have seen some raw firepower from Pex and Mizu. And it'd be really interesting if they can rock up today and prove that they're worthy on LAN. Like, they've played LAN a couple of times, not because they deserve it, but because they've found their way into tournaments where teams have pulled out or whatnot. So they do have experience. Yeah. So putting that all together, it's going to be a pretty tight matchup because, yeah, both teams pretty much slumping in form right now. Ferg's been away in France. They qualified using APOC instead of Ferg.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Now that Ferg is back, he's going to be doing all the strategic stuff behind the scenes, just puppet master his little guys around. And I think they're probably better positioned to take it against Chiefs.
Do you think they're better with Ferg? Like, with the team that we saw with APOC, is that a better team than the team with Ferg? Or
in terms of firepower, probably not. In terms of set strategy, I definitely say when they played with APOC, they would have had some rough guidelines to go on, but he definitely would have added to their firepower, as we saw in their qualification. I think they only came second, but it was still a great run that they made. Either way, here today with Ferg, I think they're going to be a little bit more comfortable in their set strategy. Obviously, they've got a plan going into this. They've had minimal practice with Ferg being overseas, but maybe by osmosis, he's absorbed some of the French scene and brought it back with him.
Yeah, well, I want to ask you for for picks and who you think is going to win. But first, let's take a look at our vetoes here for this second best of 3 of the day between Exile5 and the Chiefs. So Exile5 got rid of Nuke, Chiefs removed Overpass, Exile5 picked up Cache, the Chiefs grabbed Train, Cobblestone, and Dust 2 won't be played, and Mirage.
The Aussie meta.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, isn't it?
Okay, well, I mean, that's pretty good. I think that last map definitely favours Chiefs just because they have a bit of extra raw firepower. But I do think if it does get to that last map, and I mean, I'm jumping the gun a little bit, but if it gets to that last map, you're going to see things like XL5 because Mirage is such a large map. They're going to be able to find Mungo and isolate him. A guy who's not really been in very good form lately. He did quick Counter-Strike for a period of time after playing with Chiefs, and now he's on his way back in simply because they needed a man to fill the seat, basically. So I'm looking at Cash, XL5 probably going to pick up that pick. Actually, Chiefs are good at Cash, but I do think that maybe I just think XL5 are going to be a bit more prepared there. And then Train, that's going to come down to the wire, I think.
Yeah.
It's really a coin flip who wins that one. It'll be up to XL5 to isolate the Chiefs players, and it'll be up to Chiefs just to find weaknesses in XL5's strategy.
How do you feel about this, Jim?
I agree largely with Ian in the sense that Chiefs, by default, actually have some really aggressive players. Players like Destiny, Nikez, who their natural game, their natural game is basically to be very, very aggressive. And for some time, I feel as though Nikez has actually been on a little bit of a leash in this Chiefs lineup, particularly under Dexter. Now that Dexter's actually no longer part of the picture with these guys, I think he's got a little bit more freedom and can justify it in the sense that he's allowed to roam wherever he feels there's an opportunity. And he's, funnily enough, quite good at finding himself in situations where he catches his opponent off guard. So I think if XL5 are prepared for that, that's where they could land themselves in trouble, going down 2 or 3 men early due to those, I guess, natural aggressive habits that Chiefs may possess. But again, I feel as though with these guys, it's whoever can find form early.
Yeah. I mean, the story for these two teams basically is if Destiny finds form, if Nikez finds form, if Chris Al finds form, those 3 guys, if they find form together, of course they're going to beat XL5.
Well, sorry, not to cut you off, but it's interesting you mention that. Every time that we identified the Chiefs of old, Chris O was always the X factor.
Yeah.
In the sense that he was the catalyst for them to do well. Generally, you could gauge how well the team was doing by his performance.
He's a strong LAN player, isn't he? He really seems to get ahead when he's playing live.
He doesn't ever come to LAN. He's consistent. He doesn't ever come to LAN and just bomb out. He never does that. But sometimes he'll come to LAN and he'll reach this next level. For just 1 or 2 maps of a B03 or 1 map of a B03, each B03, he'll just reach a new level. And he'll just carry the team through to a win. But then if the going gets tough, sometimes he can just go back to his consistent base level, and that's when he really needs his teammates to step up around him. But yeah, he's known as this guy who basically just goes to the next level every now and then throughout a tournament.
Who on XL5 needs to do that for them? Who's the player that needs to pull them through? Is it Ferg with his experience? Is it someone else with just aim? Or
Well, for me, the question mark lies over either Pex or Mizu because they're both very strong riflers when they play the game or play at the level that people predict them to play at. Because Pex, he's the guy essentially on XL5 that they put in all the positions. He's the entry fragger, and they base a lot of their rounds on him. Mizu himself, he's actually quite a strong rifler in a defensive sense, so I think he's going to be key to them on those CT setups. Pex definitely on the T side, Mizu on that CT side.
fair enough. I might go for some actual predictions. Some our map scores. Sniper, we'll go to you first. Who's going to be the winner and what's going to be the score?
So for Keish, I guess the first map of the day, I'm going to aim towards going for XL5, and it'll be 16-12. I mean, it doesn't mean much of a prediction, but it's the best I can do.
Overall, or
Yeah,
just per map?
I'll take your case one. Who do you think they're going to win overall, by the way, Sniper?
XL5? There's a lot riding on it. Look, I think I'm wrong already. So I've got a 100% failure rate right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to go XL5 just to see if I can, stop it. But look, like I said, if those 3 guys on Chiefs fire up, who cares if they have Mungo? But that's why I'm going XL5.
Okay, Jim?
My thoughts, Keish, I'm actually thinking XL5 again will win that one, but I feel this one's definitely going to go to 3.
Yeah.
Looking at that map veto, I don't think Chiefs are going to have 2 bad maps in this set of 3.
Yeah, our first
I'm gonna
Chiefs
go
on
Chiefs.
train before, they know what they're doing. So it's definitely going to go to 3.
Okay, that's interesting. So no 2 bad maps. We're at least going to go to 3. We didn't do that last time. Do you think that these 2 teams, we'll probably be able to talk more after we've seen them play, do you think that they're up to how we saw Parallax just come out of the block? Like they were all guns blazing essentially, and they need to take that team down if they want to win, if they want to get the $5,000 first prize.
I feel like this is going to be a lot more of a scrap fight than what we just saw. That was a one-sided affair, and this is definitely going to be a scrap. This is going to be back and forth trading, back and forth entries. Clutch rounds are going to be very pivotal, and whoever comes out on top of those little 1%ers is going to take away the match.
Yeah, I feel that this map, or this match, should I say the matchup, is going to be won a lot on those 2 versus 2s and those 1 versus 1 scenarios. That's how much the trading is going to influence this match. But I feel definitely it is a coin flip in that sense. But look, as far as how things will pan out, I guess we'll have a really good gauge of that early on.
Yeah.
But with Chiefs, they've got enough experience and they've got enough firepower there to get them over the line. XL5, they're going to need to pull something out of the tank.
Fair enough, fair enough. So we know that the winner of this game, or the winner of this match, is going to go up against Parallax in a best of 3. Do we feel that either of these 2 teams can take it to them?
God bless their souls. That's all I can say. I don't feel like they can. Not after what we just saw from Parallax. Either of these 2 teams, like we said, they're both in form problems right now. Unless they just magically pick it up here and there, they're not going to come up against Parallax and do well, I don't think.
I think the difference is, though, when Parallax, per se, come up against one of these 2 teams will have the presence of mind and the experience to actually punish them for the mistakes that they were making. Parallax played fantastic CS, don't get me wrong, but they were making a lot of mistakes that they weren't punished for. So I think those holes in their game are going to be exposed a little bit more at the next stage, whoever they meet out of this matchup. But it's different CS at that stage too. It's day 2 of the tournament competition. All those guys would have got their nerves out on stage tonight. They would definitely be well aware of the scenario that they find themselves in. So it'll be an interesting day too.
Yeah, and we don't know what Parallax is like starting on a bad foot either. So they could just come out tomorrow and lose a pistol round and lose a really bad clutch on the first gun round. You might see the end of Parallax for a map or 2. So we just don't know what they're like at coming back yet. But just the way they handled that first B03, I thought, I think they'll be able to handle whatever these guys bring. And that's just saying that now before these guys face each other. Ask me at the end of the match, I might have another opinion.
Yeah, no, that's true. You never know. Chiefs might turn up. XL5 might turn up. Who knows? Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go to a very quick break. When we come back, we'll continue our conversation here about this best of 3 between Chiefs and XL5. Hello and welcome back to ESL Studios in Sydney, Australia for the ESL Australia and New Zealand Championship Counter-Strike Global Offensive. It's day number 1. We've seen Parallax move their way very, very easily, to be fair, through to the winners bracket final. We see Atletico dropping down into the lower bracket and they'll continue playing tomorrow. We're into our second best of 3 of the day, XL5 and the Chiefs. At the moment, we're not feeling particularly confident about either of these 2 teams, are we?
Not at the moment. I mean, even with everything going on and maybe the international experience that's on XL5, there's also international experience on some of the players on Chiefs, something we didn't really have time to cover last time. But, there's a lot of experience here, and that's why I just think, generally speaking, it's going to be a scrap fight because their form is up and down. They're both on this middle ground. They're not playing the best they've ever played. They've got lineup changes here and there, and they're still playing in all the tournaments, and they're getting map wins here and there.
Yeah.
XL5, though, recently just failed to qualify for a tournament, so they'd be reeling from that, and they'd be definitely focusing on this event to try and make the most of it.
I think, as you said, we've glossed over sometimes that the fact that Chiefs do have Destiny, who's been overseas in Counter-Strike 1.6. You've also got Burn, who recently went over with them to IEM Taipei, and it played quite well at that tournament.
Yeah.
So I think these guys are set quite well in terms of experience. The question is whether or not they can deliver in the first couple of rounds today.
Let's just reiterate, who do you think is going to win, Sniper?
I'm going for XL5 here.
XL5 2-1, because it's going to go to 3?
Yes, 2-1.
Holding on to Ferg with that one?
I just think, look, I just hope he has some sort of plan here. And I just think there is just such a glaring weakness in the Chiefs side right now. And it's going to take a lot of their individuals to step up to try and put away XL5, who will be able to find that weakness and exploit it time after time.
Yeah, I think they do have a glaring weakness in Chiefs, and that's obviously strategically. I think that can be overcome with firepower in this instance. So Chiefs 2-1.
2-1.
3 maps.
All right. I think it's probably going to be, I suspect it's going to be a Chief victory. I guess we'll see. We did, of course, see Parallax come through. We didn't perhaps expect them to come out all guns blazing like they did. Perhaps one of these 2 teams are going to do the same. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get into the game. Let's head on over to your casters, PDG and Elfish Guy.
Thank you, Sam. And yes, we have heard from the analyst desk, but I want to hear your thoughts, Peter. Have you got a prediction for this matchup?
2-zip Chiefs.
Really? That's quite a
I know.
bold prediction.
I think the Chiefs will do the job. And the reason they'll do the job is because Destiny and Chriso and Burn Are You OK will not give these Exile 5 players any space to operate. I think that definitely Sniper's on point there when he says Ferg may have an ace up his sleeve, and hopefully he can influence his teammates enough to get them across the line. But I don't think there's any coming back from the Destiny pressure and the Burn pressure and the Chriso Iceman towards the end of the round. I think that there might be 2 close maps, 16-13, 16-12, something around there, but Chiefs edging out in both instances.
What I will say, though, is if you ask me, I think that Exile5 are going to have to win Cache. And even if they win Cache, I don't really see them having much of a chance of picking up Train or Mirage.
Yep.
I feel like both of those maps definitely favour the Chiefs. I honestly, to be honest, Chiefs probably will take Train quite convincingly, if you ask me. But I guess we'll get to see that. And then hopefully, I guess, we'll get to see Mirage as well if XL5 are able to pick up Cache here. But XL5, we do know, very good Cache team. It's their best map at the moment. Obviously, Chiefs aren't necessarily averse to playing Cache, but this definitely favours XL5 in my opinion.
The only way I see Team Exile 5 winning a map at all is if they find a way, as the Sniper said, on these bigger maps like Mirage, Cache, and so forth, to isolate Mungo. Because I don't think there's any real future in running at the other 4 members of this Chiefs roster, even Nick has included. He's got an insane amount of aim when he's on point, and Mungo will take the first aim duel, and that'll go well for him as he gets aggressive and gets right next to Midcon with that first kill. Pex goes down, and now Mungo's getting aggressive. Will he get the second? No, Zorbot able to pick up a double, and that's going to put Exile 5 at least in decent position to challenge for this pistol round.
Oh, Burn and Chris coming in with 1 apiece. Ferg and Zorbot going down. Things looking pretty good here for the Chiefs. And, well, I guess that's why.
Yeah. Mizu looks like he's somewhat distracted right now. Maybe he doesn't know it's live. Maybe his PC can disconnected. We'll never know. I'm going to go for the latter, though. I'm going to say that he's aware that it's live.
Yeah, well...
And he's just not got his PC to be able to work there.
I assume we're going to be resetting that round, probably, but I'm not going to say for sure. Still, I mean, it didn't look too bad for the Chiefs regardless. Okay, just received confirmation we are going to be restarting that round, so that makes sense.
We assume as such when someone's not there in the pistol round at least, you're going to go live again straight away. But it's interesting that the Chiefs have sort of exposed, not knowing that that player was away from the keyboard at the time or having PC issues where he couldn't move around and stuff. It's a bit of an exposed pistol round there for Chiefs now, because now that XL5 know that they're probably going to be playing Mungo mid, and they're going to get that push through B with Burn and Chriso flanking through B, maybe they're going to change the way they play the pistol and it'll go more favourably for them.
Well, I feel like you'd have to change the pistol, right? What would you do in that situation?
You've got to attack mid. If you think that Mungo is holding solo mid, Sniper was
right, but Chiefs, would they change their pistol hold?
It's 50-50. It's literally a coin flip because you're playing mind games at this point.
Exactly.
Do you think that they're going to think that I'm going to think that we're going to change the strat? I don't know.
Down the rabbit hole we go.
Exactly. So I do think that if I was Exile 5, I would go down Sniper's train of thought and try and isolate where Mungo is and concentrate more on his bomb site. But then again, you don't know exactly what Chiefs have got in store. They may have paired Mungo with Destiny and Chris. And at that point, it doesn't become the strong bombs, the weak bomb side. It becomes the strong option. So there's a lot of ways to hide players on, especially terrorist side. CT's a little bit harder, but on a map like Cache, where it's, as long as he's not playing mid, which he was on pistol, but as long as when the gun rounds go live, he's not mid, he's got a lot of support there to work with.
Don't we usually see Chriso playing mid?
Chriso is generally at the A bomb site.
Right.
But I mean, this is out the window. This roster's so new, so different, so changed from what it was that he could be playing anywhere at this point,
Yeah, certainly could. And I think something that we didn't really mention, I don't think the analyst touched on it either, is that we've actually got Moe in here coaching Chiefs, it seems. So that's, I guess, another little thing that'll help them out. He's obviously a very experienced player. He used to be the in-game leader for one of his older lineups, Fox Seminole, where he also took up the AWP role, and he was a fantastic player on that lineup. I know you, in particular, were one of the people who really gave him accolades for his role in that lineup.
He's so versatile, Moe, and I think that the plan moving forward for the Chiefs is actually to do a straight swap for Mungo and bring Moe in, which, to be honest, is as close as you'll get to replacing Dexter, someone with a lot of versatility who can AWP, can call if required and called upon. But great that he's involved today, and for the Exile 5 side of things, I believe missed is the M1ST.
Yeah, well, we did see him subbing in a couple of days ago as well.
Absolutely. So he's been a part of their team as a sub,
Yep.
and he's been brought along just to give that extra set of eyes, an extra voice to a Ferg, and I'm sure that he'll have some valuable input as the series progresses.
Yes, I kind of want to go back, I guess, to the whole Moe thing for Chiefs here, because I think that if you were going to be able to find someone from Australia, he is the choice, really. I mean, as you mentioned, he is kind of going to be able to slip into that role. And at the moment, as far as I'm aware, Destiny is the one calling for the Chiefs. But perhaps if Moe comes into this roster, he might be the one coming in and calling, because to me, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to have Destiny, who is one of your star fraggers, calling. I think that might be, I guess, distributing his, his resources a little bit too much.
I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more with that sentiment. If you have a star player like Destiny, he needs to be in that star fragger / power fragger role, getting stuff done. And if he's not in that role, he's in a lurker role. Either way, both completely unsuited to doubling as an in-game leader.
Yeah.
And actually, it'll be interesting to see how much of a role Moe takes, because I guess the analyst does talk about the glaring strategic disadvantage for the Chiefs, but if Moe's going to come in and just straight up call today, we have no idea what exactly his role is going to be right now. He could have already taken the reins earlier on in the week in terms of calling, and now he's come to perform that role. So we're just going to have to wait and see how Chiefs play this out. But I do like them to zip in this series.
Yeah, well, I mean, I obviously disagree with you in that respect. I do think XL5 probably should pick up Keish here.
Yep.
But we did see XL5 and Chiefs playing Keish last week, and I believe it was 16-14 in the favour of XL5.
It was. And I do remember that game well, because Chiefs actually started the first 3 games of that series you're referring to, 11-4, 11-4, 11-4. So they actually got off to an 11-4 start on Keish before succumbing to the pressure of Exile5. But then Chiefs moved straight on to map 2 and 3, and once again, they've started 11-4, 3 maps straight. So in saying that, I don't think Chiefs will choke today. I think that they'll get out to their standard 11-4 lead that they've enjoyed over Exile5, and then they'll have enough experience on LAN to get the job done and finish it in 2.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess there's still a lot of question marks over both of these lineups, which obviously the analyst desk did break down quite a bit.
Yep.
Really, for the Chiefs, it's going to be whether or not these players do step up. And, you know, Nick is reasonably new to the lineup. Obviously, he's been in there for a while, but apart from Mungo, he's the newest player in this team.
Yep.
And for me, actually, he's been playing quite well of late. I mean, he hasn't been fantastic, but he's come into the team and done what he's needed to do. He's been able to pick up the frags and allows Destiny and Chriso, obviously, to really do what they need to do.
That's right. And for me, Nick has a very interesting origin in CSGO. He was a player that's been around for quite some time in different bits and pieces. He was formerly under the stewardship of, I guess you'd call them, for all intents and purposes, Control VP, who were the older statesmen of 1.6 who would come across Buster, Jez, Oxy, Coke, those sort of guys who have come across from 1.6 as star players. Haven't really had a good dig at CSGO, but with Nickez, he's picked up a lot of that team play and a lot of that strategical prowess from those older guys. He actually does bring a lot of sensible ideas, a lot of mid-round additions, and I guess he's not given enough credit, I guess, in this particular roster for bringing that to the table and assisting someone like a Destiny with that. But again, we don't know if Moe is actually going to be calling the shots today.
Yeah, alrighty, guys. Does seem like we're going to be here for a little bit longer, so we might head to a break just to save you from our rambling. But stay tuned, we'll be back very shortly with the Chiefs and XL5.
Welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen, to the ESL Australia and New Zealand Championship Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Huge shout out to all of our sponsors, HyperX, Razer, and Azus, who make this all possible, putting in those important eSport dollars so that we can be here today live at ESL Studios in Sydney, Australia. I'm joined here, as always, on the analyst desk by Sniper and by Jim Nesso. Now, we're going to get into this game shortly. It's just a short, technical issue. We'll get it fixed. We'll get underway. This competition, we ran 7 weeks of open qualifiers, so anyone could play. It wasn't invite only. And the teams that we ended up with are some interesting teams, I think. What do you think, Sniper?
Definitely. I mean, we didn't get the teams that we expected, even on that Group D, where Immunity pulled out, and that was looking like a massive group of death. Then we had some other upsets along the way. XL5, as we were talking about, defeated Legacy, the now Legacy team, which were up and coming at the time. And that was a 3. Was that? No, that was a close game. But we saw a lot of teams coming through when we didn't really expect them. I mean, we were doing predictions on the day, and our predictions were not up to scratch.
Yeah.
Who could predict OCS, to be honest?
Who could? I mean, and then, I mean, this tournament also, when you get knocked out of this tournament, it's a big disappointment, and you got to, you know, look at your cards and say, well, what are we going to deal with next? And some people changed their lineups and whatnot, and that's also made practice for this tournament a lot harder, and so there's a lot of instability, but at the same time, the teams that are here today, obviously, they deserve to be here. They played their best to be here. And so now that they are here, they've had time to prepare. And so we really should be seeing the best that these teams can bring. They shouldn't be leaving anything on the table. They shouldn't be getting knocked out and saying, gee, we never had a chance to play our best.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there that the actual circumstances of being able to play here have been pretty good. You know, that's what we want. That's what people ask for, right? A long lead in time, chance to practice, play on land, not online. What do you think?
I'll play on a stage like this as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
I mean, this is a treat as far as Australian Counter-Strike goes, and we were discussing it before we actually went live that I don't think anything like this has been done in this format ever in Australia for Counter-Strike. So it's certainly a welcome addition to our tournament circuit, if you want to call it that. And I'm keen to see what we actually reap as a reward from this in terms of scene stability, scene emphasis on competitions like this. And I think a lot of these players being exposed to this sort of environment, particularly in, I guess, what would be termed as a more low-key setting. It doesn't have that.
It's a little bit different. It's not like you're playing. You're not like you're in a stadium or something. It's not like that. It's professional but comfortable. I don't know. It's like a nice pair of, I don't know, boat shoes, or you tell me.
I thought you were going to go with like some Bonds underwear or something. I thought you were going to go down that.
We are in Sydney.
When
in Sydney.
When in Sydney. But I mean, look, hopefully this is as good as it gets. This studio setup is as good as it gets, and hopefully this can drive people and teams to get motivated and aim for this for when the next one comes, because we're being assured there might be a next one.
There definitely will be a next
Definitely
one.
will be a next one. Okay, so kids, definitely will be a next one.
This is the first one. This is the $10,000 tournament. Next stage is the $20,000 tournament, and that's fantastic for the scene. $30,000 across 2 competitions in similar formats, and testing the water like that, I think it's going to reap some fantastic rewards, not only for our scene, but for the players within it as well.
Yeah, I don't think there's been a $20,000 prize pool for Counter-Strike that didn't involve international teams here in Australia before.
There hasn't been. Not yet. No. So this is definitely as good as it gets. Like I said, it doesn't get much better than this. You've got to be really happy with the product that you've got going here, because the studio setup, it's nice and quiet at the moment. Not a gigantic crowd. There's not lights blaring down in your face, but there's enough there for the cameramen to do their job. There's people sitting in desks comfortably with a lot of space. Everything's been made perfect from a player perspective. So I think, you know, these guys will definitely look forward to coming back here. I heard the machines are really top notch. Everyone's getting stable 300 FPS. So there's really nothing to complain about. And so, you know, people should be putting their teams together now and saying, we're going to go to the next one and we're going to win it.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think, you know, we need to do something to bring, you know, Australia and New Zealand CS together. We've had some good teams. We've had Team Immunity. We've had Renegades. They've gone overseas. The Chiefs have gone overseas. But when you look at those teams now, Renegades is like a combination of Team Immunity and Original Vox, where, you know, where they were. You've got...
They always were. They always were.
I'll just jump in on that, and I'll say for those guys, and you'll be able to back me up on this, Ian. Obviously, I have some first-hand experiences.
I hope so.
Well, I hope so too. There's not a big enough bus to throw me under at the moment. But those teams, once they've gone overseas, they actually do that. Well, rather, they do have to go overseas to experience something like this traditionally. You wouldn't have something like this in Australia. The teams can gain experience in this sort of environment. So it's a stepping stone that's going to give us effectively a leg up when these teams eventually do go overseas.
Yeah, I guess the idea being that this sort of environment is something that you can learn to be able to play in and be able to, you know, play your best in. And that way, when you do go over to one of these tournaments, you can just shut out the crowd, shut out everything else, and just play like you're back in the ESL studios.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing, isn't it? Because, you know, 2 years ago, you would go overseas perhaps as a team, and you didn't really know what you were going to get. The more you get sort of, you know, player organisations, team organisations coming together, agreeing on different metrics and things like that, you're getting more consistency across the world as well. You go to an ESL major, you know what you're going to get. You know, you go play in another professional competition with hundreds of thousands of dollars of prize pool. It's not going to be a couple of desks and
Well,
whatever.
this is exactly like we had at ESL Crown, cut, pasted into a studio, and that was our best Australian tournament ever. So, well, in my opinion, but that was our best tournament ever. So the setup,
jewel.
the crowd, the teams, I mean, the international teams showing up, that just made it just
Beating
perfect.
Cloud9 probably felt pretty good too.
I mean, that played a small part in my vivid memory of that tournament. I know there was something going on there, like we beat someone. There was a good team there, I think.
We did the things.
Yeah,
where the stuff happened.
Everyone played well, and we
all a blowout.
overcame adversity.
Yeah.
And so that was good. And just that whole setup was just great. And here it is again, just in a nice little studio. No crowd or anything making a massive noise. I mean, that feels good and that can hype you up sometimes. But for just a group stage like this is the best a group stage will get.
Yeah.
Even at a major, you're just thrown in a back room and a bunch of tables, and
It's true.
so can't complain.
I like intimate environments like this, though. I think whilst you say the crowd at the moment might not be a factor, come tomorrow, we're predicting that all these seats are going to be filled.
It was only supposed to be one game today, and we managed to get 2 on stage here.
Yeah.
So there was only supposed to be 1. We played Hearthstone this morning, for those of you who enjoyed that. And so quite, as you said, an intimate crowd. Tomorrow's going to be a whole different story. We expect quite a number of people to come through. They'll be excited. That Australian crowd again at the Crown Invitational is quite a wild crowd. They get into the Counter-Strike here, and I suspect that tomorrow we're going to see some good games.
Well, and that's another good point to bring up, actually, with Atletico. So Atletico have come in today with a nice intimate setting. You can almost feel at home a little bit. You're amongst peers. Tomorrow there's going to be a crowd, and they're on the knife edge. They need to perform, or they're going to be out of the tournament. And so after having that first game that they had here today, there's a lot more pressure on them tomorrow with a lot of stranger eyes watching.
That, and I think, funnily enough, I think it is a double-edged sword, though. There might not be pressure on them. They think, well,
their backs against the wall kind of thing.
Yeah, a backs. People aren't going to expect much of us tomorrow, based on what they've seen today. That can work in their favour. And as Pete put it, they're either going to be first or fourth. There's going to be no in between. They're either going to bomb out in that lower bracket tomorrow, or alternatively win their way through. So who knows?
And we can't rule them out. They definitely could mop that lower bracket. So depending on who loses here today, or maybe not, there's still a good chance that we'll see them again in the finals, because we've just seen them play so well online. Maybe today was just a bad day.
That's right. Every team has them.
Yep.
Parallax definitely did not, and those guys are looking good. And I think at the moment they've set the standard for competition front runners. And I'll be looking to this match to see whether or not anyone's actually going to match that standard. But again, it's a completely different beast.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, third time hopefully is the charm. Let's get back ready into the action. We'll head over to our casting desk once again. Elfish Guy and PDG, take it away.
Thank you very much, guys, for saving my voice from having to talk for all that time. Doing God's work. I assume you agree with me, Petey. But
I don't. I love hearing the sound of my own voice.
You do? Of course
do.
you do.
Yep.
Of course you do.
Yep.
But it does look like we're getting very close to being underway here. I know we already briefly spoke about this. You thought 2-0. I thought 2-1.
Yep.
Both of us think Keish might be pretty close.
Okay, well, I think they're both going to be close. If Chiefs do win 2-0, it'll be a close 2-0.
Yep.
So it's Exile5. One of those maps is there for them to win, and I think Chiefs would just edge them out in both circumstances. But both maps are going to be close.
Certainly will be an interesting series for both of these teams. I mean, obviously going up against Parallax tomorrow for the winner of this is going to be, I guess, the next real boss stage of this tournament for them, because it almost seems like that's going to be a step up. I mean, we're saying that without having seen either of these teams play so far, but Parallax, to me, we're on another level at the moment.
It's actually tough for me to imagine how either of these teams, with the pieces that they have right now, could look better than Parallax.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see where that quality is coming from in terms of the individual players involved, apart from maybe a couple of in both teams, but just more or less the teamwork involved.
Yeah, the teamwork was very strong for Parallax.
The chemistry and teamwork from Parallax was on another level. It was in fact neck level. So
well,
yeah, exactly. So as we go into the pistol round here,
second pistol round,
it'll be interesting to see if Mungo and co change the dynamic of this one, and it's in fact true. Mungo has moved himself across to the A bomb side, so they've completely changed the way they've played this one, Chiefs, and it's actually given Exile5 the perfect counter because they're going to get through that midsection and now fight down onto Burn. Are you okay? And he gets one. He needs to do more though. Can he do so? He will not go any further with this one. Zorbot and Pex pick up the first two, and all of a sudden, Nikez and Mungo find themselves in a pretty bad situation here, 2 versus 4.
Yeah, they certainly do. And the bomb down here for Team Exile5 as well. Going to be having the timer ticking in their favour. Mungo has to do something quickly here, but it's actually Nikez to start off. Mungo finds one, Nikez another, and suddenly it's a 2 versus 1. Still a dangerous situation for the Chiefs here. Mungo not quite able to close it out there. Pex, the player we said to watch for Team Exile5, able to clutch that one out 1v2.
Yeah, brilliant stuff there from Pex. He stayed really composed in the face of adversity there. 2 versus 1 to finish it off. And sometimes those 2 versus 1s can be very difficult when you're up like 4 versus 2 like they were. That big shift in momentum. Chiefs coming back on the retake through Mungo and Nikez doing a great job, but unable to close the deal. Exile5 pulling away with the pistol, but Chiefs trying to get straight back in this one. Deagle armor pretty much across the board. No, I think I see 2 there with some P250s and 5-7 thrown in.
Berg will be taking the first duel here and actually loses it to Nikez there. So a great start here for the Chiefs. Immediately traded back, but in response, Burn able to find one onto Seth. So 4 versus 3 here in the favour of Chiefs. Unable to recover any of these rifles just yet, though.
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure early, and especially because they've taken down Ferg, who's the in-game leader for the team. When your in-game leader goes down on these sort of rounds, it's very, very problematic because someone else has to take the lead. In this case, it'll probably be Zorbot working with Pex and Mizu to try and overcome this deficit already. But Nikez has got a great angle here, and he'll fire it down but not connect with Mizu properly, although he's bleeding internally, 10 HP.
Yeah, it certainly should be an easy mop-up for one of these remaining Chiefs players, but the other 2 players on XL5 looking reasonably healthy. Destiny holding a very close angle there at the squeaky door, but not going to be challenged by anyone from XL5. It seems like they're going to be moving over to the B site once again. Yeah,
and this is a pretty obvious rotation here for Chiefs, and they haven't picked up on it. I don't know whether it's because... Oh, wait. I take back what I said. They've now picked up on the fact Destiny has alerted his teammates, and this is going to be difficult for Exile5. This first kill will be so crucial, and I believe it is Chris Howard on this inside of the B-bomb side. He has spotted up a gun. Great flash there. Good teamwork. Burn, though, gets counter-flashed through the vent, actually, and it'll be on Chris here to try and nail one. He needs at least one to save this for his team. Can he get it? Can he do the damage required? But it looks as though the Chiefs members are just falling down in the pivotal moments, and it will be Pex once again coming through, taking care of business, going TCB mode. Exile5 go up 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned that you thought that Chriso needed to get one there. I almost felt like really what he needed to do was just hold them off for those 2 players to come from behind, but we just saw Burn absolutely whiffing his basically all 6 shots on that Deagle, and you know that's very uncharacteristic for a player like Burn, who's well known for his Deagle prowess. But unfortunately, there for the Chiefs, not able to connect those shots, and that might have been able to turn it around. But in the end, XL5 able to pick up a pretty good pistol round in the end.
Yeah,
anti-eco round.
Yeah, it started so poorly for Exile5. They lost 2 members almost immediately, and then through that, Zorbot, Mizu, and Pex were able to close the deal. And I think, for me, Pex is going to have to do something yellow-like here for his team. He's going to have to get right out in front and really push them from the front the whole time to keep them going. As soon as Chiefs get a sniff, though, Destiny and co can bounce right back in.
Well, it's interesting that you should mention that there for Pex because we did see somewhat of a similar situation in the invitational stages of this tournament, the qualifying stages for the LAN. When XL5 were playing up against Greeny Bankers on Cobblestone, their first map in the best of 3, they were not having the best of performances. They were actually down, and they were almost looking like they were going to lose. And then all of a sudden, Pex picks up 2 rounds in a row where he picks up 3 kills, and a third in that row where he picked up a 4th kill. And from basically that point onwards, XL5 just rolled over everyone for the rest of the day.
Well, what I really like about that round from Exile5 obviously isn't because that they won it. They were in position to win it from the start of the second round when they had all the equipment. It's when they went down 5-3. Being able to win a couple of those rounds really, really helps the team morale early on. They know that they were down. Ferg got caught napping, and so did one of his teammates. And all of a sudden, Exile5 were able to bounce back from I would have thought, almost an 80-20 round there for Chiefs. Because they were zoning in pretty quickly.
Yeah. It seemed very heavily weighted in the favour of Chiefs, actually, despite the weapon disadvantage. They had the flanks going on. They knew exactly where the XL5 guys were going, and obviously one of those XL5 players was quite low as well. Would have been a one-shot with the pistol, but in the end, none of the shots actually connected at all. So XL5 able to pick that one up, and it did look very bad for them at the start of that round, but they came back, and in the end, actually, the anti-eco wasn't even that bad. They only lost 2 players.
Yeah, look, in the end, it worked out perfectly for Exile5. I mean, if you just had taken a screenshot of the end of the round, you would have thought, hey, that's gone pretty much to plan, and they've played that to perfection. But as we know better, we know that Chiefs put a lot of pressure early on Exile5, forced them into, I guess, unfavourable battles, which is very, very hard to do as Chiefs, but they managed to do it. Now, it'll be on them to once again respond and try and pick up this round, although with the forcing in the second round with the Deagle Armors and the rest of it, they'll be on complete eco here, and it's basically Exile's 5 round to lose from here.
Yeah, so it should be a 3-0 start here for XL5, and I think that's probably what they needed. Obviously, I backed them to pick up Keish, but, obviously a good start always going to help, and the pistol round does allow you that. So if they continue to be able to keep that form going on, Chiefs, might be in danger of perhaps tilting a little bit here or something like that. I mean, obviously they're seasoned players on land, but they've got a bit of a different lineup. Some issues might be there, something like that. So I think Chiefs need to be very careful here that they don't let XL5 get ahead too early.
Well, that's it. And the reason that I guess Jim Nesso and Sniper were so adamant that this game was a coin flip was for that exact reason. We don't know what Chiefs are going to do.
Yeah.
Like if you had to say both teams playing at 100% who wins, it's Chiefs all day, every day.
Every day. Yeah.
It's not even close. The problem with this is they've got a replacement player in Mungo. They've just recently changed in-game leaders, and there's so many variables to throw into the hat that when you put your hand, you don't really know who you're going to pull back out as the winner.
Yeah.
But the flip side to this is, even if Exile5 get a 6 start, even if they get their momentum going and all that sort of stuff, it only takes one round for Chriso, Nikez, Destiny, Mungo, Burn, those sort of guys. It only takes one round for them to be like, oh, yeah, that's right. That's what winning and headshotting feels like.
Yeah, we're actually good.
We're actually good. Oh, yeah, I remember that. And they'll get wind in their sails and go from there. So I agree with you. When you said earlier on before the first restart we had, you said Exile5 needed to win Keish.
Yeah.
And I completely agree with that for their long term in the series. But even getting out to a good start in Keish, unfortunately for them, isn't any indicator that they'll finish well.
Yeah, I actually do worry about the map picks, the map pool here for XL5, because I definitely feel like Train and Mirage are very heavily favoured in the side of Chiefs. And, as you say, even if they do get out and get that 1-0 lead, I still back the Chiefs to be able to close out. Unfortunately for XL5, if they go down 0-1, in my opinion, it's going to be a 2-0.
Yeah, and I guess that's what my prediction is predicated off, the fact that I think that Exile5 will play well, but just won't do enough. We're talking 16-13, 16-12 sort of region where they get so close. And obviously a start like this really aids Exile5. So they'll get their creative juices flowing, Ferg's brain ticking over in these pauses that we have here for... I believe it's just a couple of sound issues here and there, but the admin team here doing a great job. The support staff are everywhere here at the ESL studio. So I know the analysis desk had a lot of positive things to say about the setup, but as an ex-player, I mean, I hate all the people now who play.
Yeah,
like having this at their disposal.
Well, now you know what my life is like. when you're sitting here, when you're sitting here and you're waiting for the tac pauses or the tech pauses or everything, and you're just talking about it for 30 minutes.
Yep.
Welcome to the life.
Welcome to the life. And certainly, again, ESL have done a fantastic job kitting this place out, making the most professional atmosphere in Australia I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And it's not even close either. And
without a doubt.
The guys here not only have produced the product, but yourself, you're a resident caster here at ESL, obviously Sandman and the casting crew, but all the ground staff here, they're committed to excellence, and that's why I really feel as though that these ANZ Championship Series and anything that comes out of the studio for CSGO is going to be so important for Australian Counter-Strike. I really feel as though ESL are listening to the players, listening to the community, and providing a product at an extremely high level in, let's face it, in a world where it's so very difficult for us in Australia to put on these style of events and have this sort of infrastructure in place in a country where there isn't huge backing for esports. These guys are headed by Nick.
Yep.
And the crew here at ESL do a fantastic job. And now that that's out of the way and we've got all the homage paid, Chiefs need to find a way back into this game. They started poorly with that not being able to close out the pistol. They really would have wanted to close out that pistol round. They've again put themselves in a favourable situation on the anti-eco, and again fallen short. So
yeah, you make a good point. I mean, they've put themselves in winning positions and haven't been able to convert, and that's a big issue here for them at the moment. I mean, they could very well be up 2-0 already, but they're not.
Yeah, and that's what's so perplexing about this series, Jordan, is the fact that at any point both of these teams could crash or go king.
Yeah,
They literally have a coin flip between each and every one of these rounds.
they certainly do. I think, I guess something else that I kind of want to mention here, which might be another bit of a question mark over the Chiefs lineup, is that, you know, we've been seeing them play recently online, and they've known that they've been coming to this LAN with Mungo, and for some reason they've been using Moe instead of Mungo in their online matches. If you ask me, if I was going to a LAN in 2 weeks with a $10,000 prize pool, would you rather play with your 5 that you're playing at the LAN with, or would you play with 4 of the LAN members and 1 that you might pick up after the LAN?
Look, I guess that it's an obvious answer, and you're correct.
It doesn't make much sense to me.
It doesn't. The only thing that I will say is I know that Mungo had stepped away from Counter-Strike and from the Chiefs roster for personal reasons.
Yeah.
So having not known what those are and not knowing I guess, whatever the reason he stepped away from gaming, it's difficult to fathom why he wouldn't be able to practice with the team.
Yeah.
But perhaps it's just a scheduling issue for him and he physically can't get to the computer or become available for practice. But you're spot on. You're spot on in the sense that you really want to be playing with that 5 when you're in this setting and all this cash is on the line.
Hang on. Chiefs are buying up here.
Well, I guess the rationale here is we're double eco anyway, so we may as well try and do as much economical damage as we can once again to Exile5. Mungo with that shotgun. I mean, a single tear rolls down my face when I see people buy shotgun no armor in the 3rd round of the game. But look at Destiny. He's already behind them all, and this is a really good push here. They're all flash through Destiny. If he had any other gun in the game, I would back him in to go massive, but he's only got the default pistol, and he will pick up 1. That is a great effort by Destiny. He's going to continue. He pulls out a taser. Oh, he doesn't get it to go.
I would have just gone off if that had happened, but unfortunately not the case. He put himself in the position to be able to find that one, but
again, Chiefs so strong early in the round.
Yeah. Wow, that would have been something special. I mean, I was going to say, it's a little disappointing that Destiny only had the P2000 there. You would have backed him. If you had a 5.7.
Anything.
He would have
anything
one shot
apart from that default pistol or a Glock, and I would have backed him in for a couple at least there. He had the presence of mind, though, Destiny. He didn't buy anything apart from a taser. So he had a plan in mind the whole time of getting up aggressive and getting that kill.
Have a look at Ferg, though. He's really managed to get a lot of map control here up towards short and actually all the way into the bomb site. And Mungo really not going to have much of a chance there. Not even communicating that to his team, perhaps. Chriso and Nick is going down quite easily as well.
I don't think the guy at Forklift knew where he died from. That was the problem.
Right.
The new fade to black, I guess, aspect of CSGO they introduced in a couple of maybe 1 or 2 updates ago now because of all the extra skin stuff and the different stuff that's come in from Steam. But look, with that fade to black, unless you physically see or have a direct indication of where that player came from by a sound cue, you're really not going to know.
Yep.
And that was evident there by the fact that Ferg picks up a triple on the site at Chiefs. I mean, they've started so well and so strong, yet they're 3-0 down and they're eco again. So
Triple Zeus.
Well, they're out for blood. They're out for extra guns. They're out for free weaponry. Because there's no kill bonus. There's no kill reward for a Zeus kill. So I guess the benefit of it is the gun that you get off the player who. Oh,
he's got
there it is.
He's done it.
That noise, man, I love that noise. I don't really know what it is.
All right, let's see if we can get 2 out of 2. Nope, not going to get one from that range, mate. Unfortunately not there for the Chiefs, but that's all the Zeus's down. Exile5 should get an easy plan here. The round, actually, 2 kills in the favor of Chiefs here so far. Make that 3 as Chriso picks up Ferg. Not too bad.
Yeah, this is really, really dangerous here for X5 as the Chiefs are on the rotate. And Chriso Wow's managed to get himself a Galil, but it's a Zorbot looking strong. Picks up the first kill, transfers nicely onto Burn. Are you okay? And what seems like an eco that has lasted a decade.
Oh, yeah.
Chiefs now have a position to buy guns and try and turn this match around on its head.
Well, this is the round they're going to need to turn it. Exile5 already off to a great start. They've managed to save a couple of those weapons from the last round, so they're looking okay. Seth has already got himself an AWP, and we know, I mean, Seth is, to me, kind of not the most consistent of AWPers, but at times he can just go absolutely crazy.
Mate, his ceiling as an AWPer is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like his 10 out of 10 is up there with any 10 out of 10s I've ever seen. The problem is, how often do you get the 10 out of 10?
Wasn't it Seth that actually took XL5 to a map victory on Cache against Chiefs when he got the 3 versus 1?
It was, absolutely.
Yeah. So that's going to be, in the heads of Chiefs for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, Seth can go absolutely crazy. He is a product of a lot of young players came through at the same time, and they formed early teams together that ended up breaking up. But you see the remnants of those teams scattered around the top division right now. Like, you've got guys like Inz and Ali, who were from Corvidae, who are now playing for ASCF. Tux came through in that mold with Seth and co. Hats came through in that sort of mold and now paying for Parallax. And now Seth and Mizu and these guys who were young 2 years ago, you'd never heard of them. And all of a sudden they make up, I'm not going to say the bulk, but they make up a good chunk of the top Australian players right now. So that's fantastic to see. Not to mention this guy sitting on camera right now, Pex.
Yeah.
He's come from nowhere too to be one of the better players in the country.
Yeah, I mean, he's really been stepping up for XL5. I mean, he hasn't really even been on my radar until the ANZ champs. So certainly been doing a lot of work, at least in the last couple of months for XL5, and hopefully it's going to be able to continue today. And at the moment, working out okay for XL5, finding themselves 4-0 up, but we are heading into the gun round here for the Chiefs, and everything could change from here on.
Certainly could. Seth here going for a pretty quick B execute with his teammates. So this is going to be a mid-B split. But Burn is Johnny on the spot there, picking up the first kill onto Pex, the danger man, and that is going to chunk down Mizu and Ferg in the vent. But Exile5 here pretty content on this B push, regardless of how much pressure Chiefs push them back with.
Seth trying to scout out that B bomb site with the orb here. Isn't spotting anyone in towards checkers. That being the fact that no one from Chiefs is actually there. But XL5 definitely look like they want to make their way onto this side. Burn in danger here. Ferg might be able to spot him out. They're both going to peek at the same time. No. Seth is going to be able to, or he's going to be going down rather to Burn. No trade from Ferg. Well, as I say that though, he's able to pick up a nice headshot onto Burn. Chriso finding one there and two. Such a strong player.
He is I refer to him as the Iceman, the Clutch King.
Yeah, He's the Clutch King.
Always cool under pressure is Chriso Wow, and there's no more pressure that can be placed on a player than being 4-1 down in an event like this, in a surrounding environment like this. So he came to play. Great gamble there from Chiefs, getting that boost on the, I guess you'd call it the default plant boxes on the B side of Cache. Usually a spot that's cleared by a Molotov, and should have been cleared by a Molotov, but for some reason was not by Exile5, and that is a key difference that we saw from Parallax earlier on in the day. They were clearing every one of those spots with great utility, and it was just making life miserable for Atletico. Yeah,
you're certainly right. It's a very good point, actually, that Parallax would have, 9 times out of 10, would have been able to clear that one out. But in this case here, Exile5 not able to do that, and now find themselves on a less than ideal buy. A pistol on Pex and Ferg really going to be what they're going to have to run away with. Ferg, though, in a good spot to find one. Destiny is actually going to be able to pick that up.
Yeah, and I know it's only one round, but it feels as though Exile5 here are in a lot of trouble, although Seth and Mizu combine with that firepower to pick up a couple of kills. Chriso is going to back off this B side and kind of let them have it in the hopes of a late retake, I guess, but Chiefs here just look like they're composed. And even though they're down 0-4 before this round, to be honest, they were in a winning position in every single round.
Look at all these Molotovs and utilities that the Chiefs actually have to retake this site. I wouldn't be surprised to see them pick this one up. They've got so much utility to work with that they can really restrict the movement here from Team Exile5. And you can see Chriso entering the site with 2 quick kills. These 2 remaining players completely locked out of the site by the AWP here of Mungo and the smoke in B main.
Yeah, I'll need a written explanation for why Mungo has the AWP, but he picks up a kill nonetheless. A very, very easy, simple kill, but that work was done by the Chriso Wow entry frag, the resilience under pressure there, and the smoke grenade that came out earlier to cover the entrance into the site. Beautiful play. Chiefs looking like they're meaning business, but yeah, you'll have to explain to be a bit more why Mungo has that AWP if you can, because I'm not certain.
I mean, if to be honest, I'm about as clueless as you are, Pete.
Everyone else in that team has more of a right to the AWP.
Yeah, I mean, with Chriso and Destiny, we've seen pick up the AWP to much success in the past. So anyway, I guess they've given it to Mungo. And it worked out last round, so can't knock him until we see how it goes.
No, you can't knock the hustle, and Burn will get into that corner before Chriso Wow gets a lovely position in the back there. Burn just swooping around and picking up a double. Nikez able to fire onto Pex. Now Zorbot will be able to collect the bomb. Well, he should collect the bomb very, very rapidly to make sure he does not lose that one. He does collect it, so he's got a lot of options here. 2 versus 1 and a minute on the clock. Anything's a possibility. The only problem for him is the resource left on the 2 Chiefs players is epic.
Yep.
So he's going to have to not only overcome the 2-1 disadvantage, he's going to have to try and dodge every one of those nades coming his way.
Yeah, I mean, he's got 1 Molotov to use, and I guess best case scenario is he plays down the timer enough so that he can Molotov the bomb off, but even then, Chiefs probably have got to, well, never mind.
He's okay. That's what pressure does to you, ladies and gentlemen. If you ever wanted to see a player responding to pressure, it is just that. He plants the bomb and immediately thinks to himself, "Wow, there's got to be one close to me. There's got to be one pushing CT because of the positions these guys play." And he has wasted his Molotov, but he hasn't wasted his opportunity there. Fires down onto Nikez, and now it's a 1 versus 1. Mungo with that AWP. Can he get it done? He does.
Whoa!
Picks up the pistol kill. And Zorbot will go down. Mungo picks up the round. Not with the AWP, with the pistol. And it doesn't matter, though. Chiefs reeling their way back 3-4.
Well, a little bit close for comfort there for the Chiefs, but they get it done in the end, or at least Mungo does. And they have got plenty of cash to play with here, so they're going to buy up again.
Cash to play with.
I didn't intend to do that. Did not intend to do that.
I'm used to casting with Jim.
Yeah,
so much
I was going to say.
So much of it is intentional, and I have to I've got my mind trained on the puns.
9 times out of 10 in a casting setup, I'm not the pun guy, but maybe I guess today unintentionally I am.
Well, I mean, you've got as much right for the pun game as Mungo does for the AWP, which has been moved on to Chriso now, so that they've recognised that mismatch that they had. Maybe just a couple of rounds there for Mungo to get his confidence up, and now that he's got that, he's happy to go back to the rifle, so potentially not giving Chiefs enough credit there for balancing that one around, but I'm much more comfortable within the hands of Chriso Wow than I was with Mungo.
Yeah, Chriso is sometimes spectacular with the AWP, and going to be able to wallbang for there. Unfortunately not able to pick up the kill, but at least he hit him.
That's that mysterious 97 in 1 with the AWP. That was not a box hit. I have no idea how that was.
Yeah,
not a
I
kill
remember
for
you talking about this in one of the other matches that you casted. It doesn't make much sense, does it?
It's like a top of the right-hand shoulder hit where it's like, I'm wounded, but I'm okay.
Yeah, my arm's hanging off, but I can still shoot a gun with my other hand.
I think Ferg is the new star of the second Revenant movie.
Oh, well, Mungo is going to be able to pick up Mizu there. So a good start again here for the Chiefs. And you can see Mungo playing very far back. Maybe they're trying to hide him once again.
Yep, but he doesn't need to be hidden right now. He's playing fantastically well, Chiefs, with that 3-4 deficit. But if you were to just watch the game and score alone, you'd think that they were, in gameplay alone, you'd think they were ahead. But Ferg pushing that molly where it should be. Seth, nice, quick AWP kill and doubles up. That would have been sick reactions from Seth there as he picks up Mungo on the headshot. Now it's a 2 versus 2 once again. Chiefs with the advantage here at the HPs.
Yeah, both these players from EXILE5 very low, but Seth holding a great angle there. Not going to spot out the player. He's going to be flashed out. Really not going to be doing too much just yet. Zorbot is going to find one. Chriso peeking around the corner. He's going to find Seth, and now all he has to do is get one shot onto Zorbot. All he has is the P250, but that's enough. And Chriso clutching it out once again there for the Chiefs.
His team not even reacting. They knew he had that in the bag from day dot. Once he got that first kill, it was a matter of, I guess, doing the flamingo with the bomb boxes there, dancing, dodging, weaving around. He finds the kill, wins the round.
What is this? They've just chucked the AWP over to Destiny. Nope, giving it back to Chris.
Nope, Chris has got it again.
I was going to make a point where it would have been really strange to see them having the AWP on 3 different players in 3 different rounds.
It would be, but oddly enough, this is how this roster formed. I mean, Destiny's always been good with the AWP. Chriso has been a secondary AWPer. Nick has been a secondary AWPer, and Burn has been a secondary AWPer. So literally everyone in this team is qualified to use that weapon and only one at their disposal. Nick is holding a wide angle here. He's going to spray one down. Ferg, good trade there. Pex will look for the open angle. Mizu finds one. Destiny, though, replying well, and he's holding a finite angle there. But Chriso's arrived in time, Jordan, and that
is a great hold there from the Chiefs. Yeah. Absolutely a fantastic hold from the Chiefs. And I guess that kind of goes to show why EXILE5 have been favoring the B-bomb site.
Yeah, well, I mean, there are very few hard and fast rules in Australian Counter-Strike, but do not run at Destiny is definitely a hard and fast rule for any aspiring in-game leader out there to I guess, conform to and to respect the fact that even when you think that he's playing poorly. The guy's so explosive, you just can't give him the opportunity.
Yep.
And right there, they've done so. Chiefs take the lead for the first time in this match. They felt like they've been winning since the first round, as I said, but yeah, the shot there from Chris, he does spot one out, is unable to do any sort of meaningful damage, though. It does tag Ferg, but he survives, and it looks as though Exile5 are going to favour that B-bomb site.
Ferg getting all the way around to the A bomb site. Nick is absolutely unaware of this. Oh, no! Oh, that could have been so bad for Ferg just there. I would have liked to have seen him pull out a knife there.
I would have too.
Actually, you know what I would have liked more? If Nickers had just turned around and shot him in the face.
No, I would still prefer the taser any day of the week there. The noise that it makes is just simply too hilarious to pass up. And Chiefs now in a lot of trouble, but lucky for them, Destiny and Crystal are the two available. Destiny picks up one, picks up two. This is crazy stuff here from Mark Destiny Kagan, and he will continue to fire on.
Destiny Kagan.
It's his last name.
Yeah, I know. Just seems weird to say it like that.
He doesn't get called Kagan very often.
No.
He used it as an alias for a while, but I do digress. Back to Zorbot here in once again a 2 versus 1 situation. He came at Trumps last time, but it wasn't against the firepower he faces now.
Yeah, well, he's going to have a job to do. Has spotted out the shoulder of Chriso, and as a result, gets an easy kill. Peeks around into Destiny, but Destiny, as you mentioned, looking sharp at the moment, has got 4 kills in that round. So really nice work for him and the Chiefs. And, you know, all of a sudden, the Chiefs just absolutely steamrolling Exile5. They've got 6 in a row.
Jordan, I'm petrified. I'm petrified on behalf of Exile5 because
Once you were afraid?
Destiny is just on a tear. And he has been on a tear for about 4 months.
Yeah.
Let's be real. He has been playing at an elite level for about 4 months now, where I would consider him to be the best player in Australia. On any given day, in any given server, on any given Sunday, which will be tomorrow, he will always be a top 3 player. And nothing will ever stop that from happening, I don't think, apart from Destiny himself. Now, Chris O'Wow finds himself in a spot. A Bother does get an escape Molotov going, and he's actually reopened a great angle there. Good decision to go back into the vent room for Chriso.
Yeah, I think he also has backup from a player in the vent, perhaps. Someone at least is on the B site with him there. And you can see he's already started off well. Zorbot has been picked up. And Chriso in a great spot to find another, but Pex is going to be able to take him down. And here's that player that I was talking about, Burn. I don't even know if they know that he's here. Well, now they do. They've heard that vent break, and Seth very sharp on the draw there. He's going to be able to pick up that kill quite easily. Destiny, though, has arrived and has departed.
Yes, and now it's 2 versus 3 here. Nickez and Mungo have a lot of work to do, but they've both been great in the back halves of rounds. And Seth gets caught out of position there. Horrible positioning from Seth there as he's found wanting from the position Mungo's in beneath the vent. And Nickez will play a crucial role here in this retake coming from upstairs on that ramp. And Mungo will do 2 pretty good flashes. Nickez will find the kill, although Pex trades. This is all on Pex. It's not going to go his way. Nickez with the opening there drops down, and he'll immediately go back and pick up the Chris O'Wow AWP. He realizes he doesn't have much time. He'll probably go back for it once again, but he'll be able to get on this bomb. Oh, the mouse wig almost loses in the round, but nevertheless, Chiefs looking strong in their retaking.
Yeah, such a difficult position there for that player underneath Heaven. I mean, you can only look one way, and if the player drops off the other side,
yep,
what are you going to do, really?
Once that frag had been gotten by the player that was underneath that drop, he really needed to gamble on the CT spawn push. Because as you said, there's only one angle you can watch on that drop, and the guy can choose a multitude of angles to drop down on you. So as soon as he gets that kill, he needs to rotate into CT spawn and make sure he's got a viable angle to work with.
Yeah, you're certainly right, but unfortunately wasn't the case there for that player from Exile5, and the Chiefs find themselves on another round, so 7 in a row, and things looking quite good for them. I mean, it isn't a necessarily CT or T-sided map, but at the moment, certainly seems like it's all in the Chiefs' favour.
Absolutely does, and Chriso will find himself to the back box in the vent room, so he's going to perhaps end up not picking at all here, which would be my preference, and let Burn take the heat from that vent position. He's broken that vent, so he's well aware. But that Molotov will cool Chriso down, and that trade is epic. Zorbot firing down on Chriso, and once again, Exile5 gets the first pick, but they've shown no capacity to close these rounds down once they have it.
Interestingly, Mungo this time in the vent, not going to be able to do a whole lot from that position. Destiny, though, finding Seth in mid. This is going to be Pex there, just getting the kill onto Burn, so the B-bomb site completely open now for the Chiefs. For Exile5 rather, and the Chiefs now forced to either retake or save these weapons. I'd suggest probably retaking, given the economy that they surely have banked up.
Yeah, they do have a pretty nice economy. The problem for them is they've lost a lot of close rounds with 1 or 2 players alive, but with the confidence of Destiny and Nickez coming through, I think we could Get a pretty good shot at a retake here, although Pex gets a great spot there. Can't move because of the Molotov, but will finish it off. Team Exile5 pick up their 5th, and they did it in pretty spectacular fashion.
Okay, so at the moment now for Chiefs, actually, their economy not looking too good at all.
No, they got crushed because of all the deaths that have come their way.
So
Even though the rounds were won,
yeah,
they won't run emphatically, and Destiny the only one with any sort of reasonable scoreline, in fact. Burn on 6 for 11. That's very, very surprising, given he's usually a fortress at the B-bomb side here for Chiefs.
Oh, well, for XL5, this could be the moment that it turns around. I mean, the Chiefs, I was saying they looked so strong in those 7 rounds, but all of a sudden now they're very vulnerable here to losing a few rounds in a row to XL5 and letting things get ahead of themselves once again.
Absolutely, and the reason that Chiefs are ahead in this game is because they're willing to take gambles, they're willing to take those chances, they're willing to go for the safe play there was to just save those guns and back away from that 3 versus 2 situation and live to fight another day. They've force-bought twice. They've used tasers. They've pushed on eco rounds. They've done everything under the sun to disrupt Exile5's strategy and play. In saying that, though, you're going to lose a lot of rounds doing that. Their only hope is that you can put enough rounds together that you do, in fact, end up winning the game. And I guess this bodes well for my 16-13 prediction with Chiefs winning, but nevertheless, Ferg will fly down into Nickez, and they look pretty comfortable in this round, Exile5. So back and forth between these two teams.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can't expect too much from the Chiefs here with only those pistols. I would have liked to have seen Mungo perhaps get that kill onto Ferg. He was certainly in a position to get it, just wasn't able to land the shot. And, well, you can see now that XL5 have complete control of the A-bomb site. They have a player in mid here as well, which is going to make these rotators a little bit troubled, but not really, as Chriso picks that kill up. But in the end, I mean, XL5 are going to win this round no matter what.
Yeah, that's beyond doubt now as Burn escapes alive with that AK, but Mizu's on the prowl, so is Ferg. This is going to be very difficult for Burn to hold on to this weapon.
Yeah, I think they know roughly where he is as well. Chriso is going to go down, just holding up Seth a little bit, but Burn really going to be lucky to save this one. Actually seems like the time going to be playing in his favour, and should be able to take that one through just.
He's lucky he narrowed that angle back up because he was a little bit wider there looking for the kill. And just as the time was ticking down, he narrowed himself up and saved his life. He's got that AK, and I definitely think they should be going towards Destiny right now. I've got no idea why Destiny's only got that pistol in hand when there's an AK available.
I guess Burn has the armor?
I don't think he bought that, though, on the back of having the AK.
I don't think he had armor in the pistol, you're right.
Yeah, so I don't think he had it, so he bought it off the back of that one. He has got a kill, though, which will free up another AK for his team, which is exactly where he's going right now. Nickers picks up that Deagle frag, and all of a sudden, the unpredictability of Chiefs is unpredictable for XL5.
I guess maybe the theory is that Burn is our entry fragger. If he gets an entry, we pick up another rifle. Trying to make sense of the situation here, but they do have still one rifle, and it's in the hands of Mungo. Another one picked up there for Nickez.
That's a horrible repeat from Nickez. What are you doing, bro?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Like, what are you doing? You're in a 2 versus 4, and you just 3 versus 4 rather, and you just throw your life away. Now Mungo's going to have to fight from the door, and Chriso's making the rotation. But this should be essentially gifted to Exile5. Imagine if Nickez was still alive as Mungo picks up 2, and it's all on Zorbot to win this one.
Yeah, once again, Zorbot finding himself in a 1vX situation, and it seems like he's got a bit of a crossfire to deal with. That smoke is going to help him out, and he'll be able to collect the bomb. But where will he go from here? He doesn't really have much time, not probably enough to rotate over to the B-bomb side and plant safely. Chriso spotting him out, and there you go. Mungo closing that one out. Actually, a pretty good performance from Mungo in that round, finding 3 kills.
Well, Mungo saved their bacon there because they were in a fantastic position. Exile5 were walking into the lion's den, so to speak. Everyone was in that site ready to go, and he throws his life away. Luckily for him, Mungo is able to pick up the double and win the round with Chriso on the rotate. But Exile5 will be pretty upset that they went down on that in that instance, only to the one save gun of Burn, are you okay? And now Seth is going to look to try and open it up with the AWP, but that Molotov's good there from Destiny in mid, and the one of the best individual players in the country is currently holding mid by himself. And it will just be a question of whether he sees Seth first or vice versa, but Seth has spotted him out. So this could be danger time here for Destiny.
Yeah, really tough here for Seth. I was going to say really tough for Destiny to hold against the AWP of Seth here, but guess I'm wrong.
Destiny, they're hitting a smashing shot now, getting a bit greedy there. Once again, the decision-making from Chiefs questionable in the face of an advantage. So they're going to have to work on that. They can't just keep throwing these kills back into Exile5's score boxes because it's going to end up bad for their money situation. And Jordan, we actually saw them off the back of winning 7 straight have to eco because of this exact phenomenon. They keep re-peaking for those extra kills, and it's costing them weapons and ultimately forcing their economy to be on struggle street. Of course, last round of the half doesn't matter here, but you just love to see Destiny still be alive in this situation.
Yeah, it would certainly be a massive strength in the favour of the Chiefs. At the moment, it's still, you would say, somewhat weighted in the favour of the Chiefs. Obviously, Destiny was able to get a bit of damage across to Mizu here, but Mungo is going to be pushing aggressively. This might be another symptom of the situation that we spoke about. Ferg going to be able to take down Mungo.
There's no reason for Mungo to be there at this stage of the round. There's only 30 seconds to go, and the terrorists need to run into your crosshair. Why are you pushing at this stage? I'm not sure, but this might cost Chiefs again. Nick is getting fired upon. He can't get that Molotov out. That's brilliant pressure there from the terrorists. Unable to get that Molotov in position, but inexplicably, Ferg is not planted in the correct spot, and he's gone down.
He wasn't planting safe, and at that point in time, 9 seconds left on the clock, why would you not be planting safe?
I think they're going to be okay here. Exile5, nope, they've been timed out, and Ferg will be kicking himself there, not planting in the correct position. After I said the pressure from his teammates was great, stopped Pex from actually, my apologies, it was Nikes getting that Molotov into the plant spot. It was great work, and then foiled by the fact that Ferg didn't get the plant down.
Yeah, just his little shoulder hanging out the side of the red crate.
Heads and shoulders, knees and toes. None of these things can be outside the planting vehicle at any time because you will get taken down.
Yeah, well, it costs Team XL5 around here. 9-6 now in the favour of the Chiefs. I think they'll be relatively pleased with that, actually, considering the start that XL5 had.
They'll be over the moon. And actually, to be honest, I'm not even sure because they could think to themselves, geez, we had 4 rounds at the start that we just didn't win and couldn't win. And Ferg here getting aggressive at B. He's going to get a lot of information, but he needs to make that shot land. Otherwise, he's going to go back to sitting duck mode as Pex does get 1 Chriso. The Iceman gets 2 and Mungo gets the 3rd. Chiefs rocking and rolling here through the XL5 B defense.
Yeah, they want to get this one done and dusted, but still XL5 have a couple of players left to play with. Seth and Mizu actually opting to stay on the same bomb site, and they've gambled correctly at the moment. The Chiefs, well, as I say that, they start to move away from the B side.
I'll be very disappointed here if Chiefs end up going back to B. The reason is they had B. If you were going to go B and not go back to A, then just go B when you had the opportunity. But no, they're going through mid to A, and Destiny will fire down, and he will end up finding both CTs here. He gets the crucial bink there. That forces Seth out of mid-con. Chriso takes him down, and the Chiefs just completely capitulating the defense there of Exile5.
Yeah, certainly was a good performance from the Chiefs there, and well, you know, they lost that pistol in the first half quite closely, but the second half they make amends for it. They pick up the pistol quite convincingly and put themselves in good stead heading into the later stages of this first map.
What do you make of these new SMG sounds?
I don't really like them.
Well, that's an understatement. I'm glad you took the PC approach. They're awful.
Yeah.
There's listen to these guns. They sound like automatic staplers.
Automatic staplers was the, yeah.
Sewing machine, automatic stapler,
Nail gun.
car jack, nail gun, you take your pick. None of them sound like a legitimate weapon, but Destiny proves us otherwise. He gets the first kill, and Mungo, with the only rifle actually, picking up 2 kills. So that's actually no good for the Chiefs. You want all of those SMGs to get you the extra money bonus, and that's exactly what Nikos has done, picking up the last 2.
Yeah, good work from him there. Able to get those couple of frags, but they're going to be able to take all those SMGs into the next round. They've got another shot at getting that bit of extra cash.
Yep.
So I don't think they're going to be too bothered by that just yet. Interesting that Mungo should be the one to take the AK.
Yep. I mean, they've made interesting decisions.
I feel like we're bagging a little bit on Mungo. I think we're forgetting that he was a Division 1 player for the Chiefs for quite a long time.
I think I'm definitely not intentionally bagging on him. I'm just trying to be realistic so that if something happens and he doesn't put on a spectacular display, people understand he's just a substitute player. He's taken time away from the game, and all 9 other players in this server are currently active and are playing a lot of Counter-Strike. So he does have a sort of a get out of jail free card, but not completely. So, I mean, we do expect him to turn up to play at some point, and Destiny just bursting down.
Mac 10 first fire, yep. The dream. It's working out for them. Obviously, XL5 you saw picking up that first frag. They've got no idea where Ferg is, but finally being spotted out. Nikes will be the one to close that out.
I feel like after that round, the game should produce some sort of patchwork quilt where the sewing machines have just done their work to the point where each player gets a memorial blanket and a means to keep warm through the winter months of Counter-Strike.
Well, they're dead though, so...
Yeah.
Rip.
But look, it's looking like very much Exile5 are in trouble here. Seth got that big green, but they're going to have to shift tactically here away from this guerrilla style of tactics they're playing where they're taking all the gun battles. They need to sit back in this site and let Chiefs just run into their crosshairs.
Yeah, Destiny opting to keep that Mac 10 going. And he is the kind of player that will keep those SMGs into the following round. Generally works out for him actually as well. Chriso is going to find the first one. Nikes grabbing one onto Ferg there as well. The A bomb site now in the favor of the Chiefs. They've got complete control of it. And, well, Exile5 here, really probably not a great idea to even try and retake that.
No, definitely not. Seth is going to look to save the AWP here, Pex, with this M4A1S, trying to do the same. Destiny's on the prowl, though, and Seth has no head armor, so if he can find the angle here, he'll get an interesting opportunity, but Pex is able to do enough damage there. Again, inexplicably just pushing out mid. He thought maybe one was close and tried to pop flash, but you're much better off retreating away to a safe space that Seth can help you out with his AWP at long range, and now he's left all by his lonesome. The hunt will start here for Chiefs, and it's Seth's dream, that he ends up with this AWP at the start of next round.
I don't think they're going to get to it here.
Shouldn't be.
It doesn't seem like they're going to be able to, but yeah, so taking that AWP through to the next round here for Exile5 is reasonably important. You can see they don't actually have the cash to buy up in this round. You know, maybe they can get a couple of pistols on these other guys, hope for some sort of magical performance from Seth, and go from there.
We're looking at another almost 16-0 here if you take into account what actually transpired in the match. Pex won a 2 versus 1 to win the pistol round. Yeah. They then won a close anti-eco where they lost 2 guns early. They then won another close anti-eco where Destiny got a frag and almost a taser kill in A main. So Exile5, even though they were ahead like 5-1 or something in this match, they would have felt like they were behind the entire time. And that's exactly what it looks like as Destiny's pulled out the auto sniper. And
well, that's crazy for me to see that already coming out here. Like, I don't think Chiefs are that far ahead that it's you know, like, oh, I'll just buy an auto sniper.
No, definitely he meant to pick up that gun, and I guess he's trying to channel his inner Von Pelt, the hunter from Jumanji. He was quite an adversary.
And he really doesn't want to give this up here in the middle of CT spawn. Oh, and he's going to get a bit of backup there from Chriso. So great teamwork coming out from the Chiefs. They keep the Dak in play. And now Exile5 going to be, well, watching the screen of Ferg for the next little while.
The bomb has just gone down, though, so Ferg has a full 40 seconds here to try and defend himself from this point. And there can only be a very limited space in which he is occupying.
What's Destiny doing? Just running around spamming.
Yep.
Anyway,
well, he's trying to flush him out. It's worked. Chriso has got the jump on Ferg. It is 14-6. Chiefs riggedy rolling through this game right now. 14-6 up, and Exile5 are going to have to do some pretty phenomenal changes of pace here. And I think the only thing really left for Exile5 is to get into positions as quickly as you can, completely hermit, go into an individual space and try and fight off these guys from the bomb site, because any sort of pressure being put on by Exile5 is being ruthlessly punished by Chiefs right now.
I just love watching someone's perspective and hearing a Dak firing away on the other side of the map. Like, just so satisfying for me right now.
Yeah, well, Destiny will keep putting the pressure on with that Dak once again, and he will get a kill onto Ferg, so beautiful demonstration there from Destiny.
How is he checkers with a Dak?
Well, I mean, he's got the B kill.
It just...
So, I mean, after he gets the kill, he uses W, and he works his way
well,
into
I understand how, but, like, it just...
I know.
It's just such a ridiculous situation, right?
Especially a minute 30 into the round. So, I mean, he's only been alive
He's like WM1 with the Dak.
Well, I mean, whatever works for Destiny works for me right now, because he's absolutely punishing Exile5 for any little mistake they make. And Nikes and his 3 teammates left alive, I should say almost 2 teammates, because Chris O'Wow's on 1 HP. Mungo, beautiful entry frag on Amizu. He needed to do more there. Wasn't really flash, but nonetheless, he goes down. Chris O will get the plant. And Chiefs, once again, looking like they'll be able to hold this one.
Yeah, it certainly seems so. Seth going to have to come up huge here with this AWP. There's no one else really that can do it. Pex obviously coming in, but Seth traded out immediately. Now it's down to a 1v2 for Pex. We've seen him pick up some pretty crazy rounds before, but I think this might be a little bit beyond him. He's trying to find a gun with some ammo loaded, and unfortunately, Nikes going to take advantage of that and picks him up.
Yeah, wax on, wax off there for Chief. They get it done very, very easily. And, yeah, Chiefs looking very, very confident right now. Exile5 looking like Exile5, to be honest.
Yeah, well, this is, you know, if Exile5 go down here, which it seems like they are, I feel like this is the death knell for XL5.
Well, yeah, you did point out
no
a couple
way,
of times. They
in
needed
my
to win
opinion,
this
they're
match.
going to take train. So, well, Burn starting off well into this one, picking up the double kill. Mungo spotting out another completely flash. Mizu will go down there, and he's going to take the second duel here. Getting tagged up by the scout, but not enough to kill him. And Destiny chiming in on that one. It's a very good round coming out here for the Chiefs, and I dare say it'll be 16-6. Pex has to go for this.
It's 280 health versus 7 in this matchup right now, and Pex is on the deficit of that one, and with everything to prove, he's got the AWP, and he's got a fighting chance. In the same way that a baby would have the advantage defending his or her candy from an oncoming thief. But look, I don't think that... Oh my goodness. Pex has got the shot, but he won't win the round. He's got no defuse kit. So brilliant stuff here from Pex. He'll get 1, he'll get 2, maybe he can get 3 or 4. It will not matter. No kit there. Stunning shot though.
Go down in a blaze of glory.
Beautiful stuff there from Pex. It will not matter. Chiefs just looking like the dominating force that they've been for so long in AU CSGO. And ANZ CSGO, I should say.
Yeah.
And yeah, they dot their I's, cross their T's towards the back end of that game, and they'll be confident moving into the second match.
Yeah, this is going to be a really tough uphill battle here for XL5 if they want to come back into it. Train the next match, or the next map, and even then if they get through that, they have to go on to Mirage, which in my opinion is the Chiefs' best map at the moment. So
it's really difficult. It's really difficult for me to say what the Chiefs' best map is, because I think they're just like a 7 out of 10 on every map.
Yeah.
It's just so difficult for other teams vetoing against them, because, you know, what's their strong maps? Well, we don't know. Well, okay, well, what are their weak maps? Well, we don't know. They're just good on... They seem to be the same on every map, which is problematic for Exile5, because the Chiefs were way too good for them on that occasion.
Yeah.
It could have been a 16-1-2, like I said. They've managed to get themselves a few extra rounds, but they're in some serious hot water here.
Yeah, well, we will hand it over to the analysis desk to break it down a little bit more. So stay tuned. Obviously, we're going to be having Train coming up after the analysis desk.
Yeah.
But just send it over to Sandman.
That's a good idea, Elfish Guy. We are back here over on the analysis desk. We just saw the Chiefs. Honestly, that was a pretty convincing victory coming out from the guys. Both Peter and Jordan were talking about the type of Counter-Strike they're playing. It was a disruptive Counter-Strike that didn't really let Exile5 get into their groove. Elfish Guy is saying, with Train coming up, he doesn't think this Exile5 can take out the Chiefs.
Yeah, it's not looking good for them. Chiefs pretty much did exactly what they needed to do right from the outset, which was just disrupt XL5. Whenever they were trying to get anything going, just try and cause havoc, try and cause chaos, try and put them off their balance, basically.
Yeah.
And ever since they won that first round, Chiefs just looked unstoppable. And then carried it across to their T side. XL5 didn't really have an answer for it.
What do you think, Jim? Is this the Chiefs that turned up today? Is it better than we thought, or at least on that map?
It's better than we thought, but there's a long way to go just yet. That being said, though, I still think Chiefs have got a decent shot at Train as well. Look, the map cache that we just saw, the Chiefs just played to their strengths, which was hard, aggressive Counter-Strike, both on CT and T. And, I mean, as far as what we saw, really no surprises. I think the surprise for us came in the form of XL5 perhaps just crumbling so quickly.
Yeah, they crumbled under the pressure, and the other thing is they lost just about every clutch situation. They were pretty unlucky. A lot of the situations they were low HP, but it just gave Chiefs this confidence that, yeah, we can just win every clutch situation. Like we heard from the Iceman himself, Chris Au, when he won a 1v1 against a guy on 5 HP or something. You know, it's definitely, it affects you as a player and makes you think you're a lot better than you are. And that confidence, we say it's a confidence game, and it definitely does play a big part in this.
Fair enough.
And the early stages of the match too, it did come down to what we said it would. Those 2 versus 2s and those 1 versus 1s. That's exactly how it played out. It was very scrappy in the early stages, and that's how the rounds played out. From there, Chiefs just gained a lot of momentum, and they never looked back.
They just broke them, basically.
Yeah, they really did. They really did. So let's take a look at a replay from that game there on Cache. We'll see what we've got to work with. It is Pex here in a pistol round, is it? And he picks up a nice little double there as well.
After Chiefs had done a lot of work too on that retake. That was against the run of play individually. Quite pivotal.
It was almost going to look like what we saw before with Atletico and Yellow just taking them across the line. But unfortunately, rounds like this don't affect seasoned veterans.
Does it feel like anyone's turned up so far today for the Chiefs?
Well, Destiny.
Yeah, Destiny's turned up. Destiny's cheeky as ever. Destiny.
Yeah.
I think more importantly too, Mungo is actually getting into the game a lot more.
Yeah.
There was always going to be that question mark over his status playing the game or having not played so much of the game so recently. And he's
What's he been doing? Playing Overwatch or something? What's his new
something
thing?
like that.
Yeah,
There's also Overwatch.
Yeah.
There's also Overwatch in Counter-Strike too.
Well, that's true. But one of them's more fun than the other, I suspect.
Sometimes. One's more satisfying than the other.
Look, if you're playing Soldier 76 all the time, maybe it's kind of like playing Counter-Strike.
No.
Mungo's a bit of a McCree boy, I got to tell you.
Yeah, okay. Let's take a look at another replay here.
I'll take a
Fergs
cranny.
with the triple. We will see smoke going to come out from him. We've got him here on the Galil. That's one kill from behind. That doesn't really count. He's going to get the double here. Look at that.
Yeah,
And,
that was a bit of a worrying sign there for Chiefs because XL5 looked like they were starting to get on a bit of a run. And that shot on the back of Mungo just showed that he had no communication to the rest of the team to say, I just got shot in the back.
Yeah.
And they were just totally unawares when Ferg just kept strolling into the side. Oh, look, 2 more guys.
Yeah.
So that's not a good sign. You don't want to see that going forward.
Well, there was another instance too on Force Buy round where Ferg walked straight into the side via forklift and shot someone in the back completely. So the Chiefs aren't there in terms of communication. They're not operating as a unit just yet.
They're not on point.
But you get the impression that they're going to warm into this tournament.
Yeah.
Fair enough. One more replay for you guys with some, I believe, some AWPing skills here. Let's take a look at this one. It's Pex here. And sitting there on 7 HP.
Super important round.
Yeah, well. Look, that's where you get all your best plays, though, right? When you've got nothing to lose. And he picks up 2. Needed to get 2 more. Still probably wouldn't have won. So we've seen them here. They've lost Cage. We're moving on to Train. Elfish Guy says Exile5 done and dusted. Are we feeling that? What does Exile5 have to do? Is it Ferg? We can see they're not in here at the moment. They've gone out to have a chat. Is Ferg with them at the moment? Go, you know what, boys? We can do this. Is he like what do they have to do?
This is a typical Ferg halftime talk.
Yeah.
He likes to take his players out of the scenario, remove them from it, try and refocus and recenter them, so they don't essentially suffer from tunnel vision.
Yeah.
But the point Ferg will be trying to make is that they need to mentally reset themselves. Train's a bit of a different beast in terms of map because if you play too aggressively, particularly on that CT side, you are liable to be punished.
Okay.
So look at Nikias, look at Destiny.
It's very important that the Ts do punish you as well. You can't just have a free reign on CT. But those players...
And they need to play proactively and not reactively either. So they need to be aware of the potential threat that both Destiny and Nikias pose in the natural game. And I'd be looking to Chiefs to really put a lot of pressure on that T connector. And that's where they're liable to overcommit to pushing.
Yeah, so we're looking at the Chiefs who are going to be starting on the T side first.
There you go.
So we'll have XL5 having to stop whatever Chiefs are going to throw at them, and at the same time they've got to play to win. They can't just try not to lose. They have to play to win. They have to take more risks, especially on their CT side. That CT side we just saw then just looked sloppy. It just looked like we're just going to let Chiefs execute and try and do something. Half the time Chiefs were just rushing in so fast with that surprise tactic just to unsettle them, and they just weren't ready for it. They need to really just pull up their trousers, and they need to go into this game and actually cause some disruption of their own towards Chiefs.
Do we think that XL5 can come back from this at all?
It's salvageable with a good CT half.
Yeah, nothing's impossible, right? A good CT half.
And anything can happen.
Yeah.
That's what they say over in Hearthstone. Mate.
Well, it's not impossible, but it's not looking like it's something that they can do. 16-6 on your own map is just not a good way to start.
Yeah.
So they need to come out really hard on this one and get a good CT half. Like I'm talking 12-3.
Yeah, I feel at this stage too, we've got a really good gauge of the ceiling of which Chiefs are playing to. And at the moment, it's far higher than XL5. So there is still time for them to redeem themselves and start well on this map. But it's going to have to be really evident in those first 6 or so rounds. Otherwise, from there, I think it's going to be too far gone for them.
Yeah, Chiefs looked far too comfortable that first map.
We can see there. Well, I missed it now. But never mind. This Chiefs team, we talked about Parallax before, right? We said that at the moment, they're playing some really good Counter-Strike in it. Perhaps some of these teams might struggle up against them when they see them or if they see them tomorrow. Is this Chiefs team at the moment, do they have a hope if they find themselves up against, assuming they win this? I don't want to put aside, but let's talk about, I like talking about things that could happen, right?
Right.
So Elfish Guy could get a girlfriend. Chiefs, might
The
win
realm
this game.
of possible.
Yeah, I like to talk about these sort of things.
Push those boundaries.
Yeah. So if Chiefs by chance were to win this, because at the moment, XL5 would, if XL5 came back and won these, then I think they would have to do remarkably well.
Yeah.
And that would put them perhaps on a good line to come up against someone like Parallax if they played 2 really good maps, right?
Yeah.
On the inverse, or you've got Chiefs who have played 1 good map, potentially could come through their map. We expect them perhaps to win. Are they at a level where they could challenge Parallax?
Yeah, I think they'll do a lot better job than Athletico did. I think they'll be able to get at least a map off Parallax, and that's just saying that we've seen they've been in bad form lately. Now we've just seen them beat XL5 in convincing fashion. So we're not saying that they're an amazing team right now, but they're definitely good enough to take it to Parallax for sure.
I think the difference is going to be in that matchup. Chiefs are going to punish Parallax for the mistakes that they made. Parallax played well, but they weren't flawless.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah. So the Chiefs that we saw right then certainly going to give Parallax more of a run for their money if they do go up against them.
But I also think by the same token, Parallax are going to punish Chiefs for their mistakes.
Exactly.
Chiefs are a known team for being very aggressive, very cheeky, a lot of pushes, a lot of information plays. Parallax will punish that straight out. So that'll be where the game is decided.
All right. X5 Chiefs, we're here on Train. We're going to get into it very, very shortly. Chiefs, I think, does everyone agree that this is Chiefs' favoured map?
Yeah.
Yeah, they play it well enough, often enough, for it to be considered something like that.
They could be Australia's #1 train team until they verse Parallax. That's how I feel.
Fair enough, fair enough. And as we said before, there's been a lot of time to potentially plan for this competition. XL5 knew who they were going up against. Do you think, would have they prepared for Train, thinking that, like, they didn't ban it first, did they? It got through those first 2 vetoes. So it was definitely something that they would potentially expect to see here. Could have they prepared for this? Would have they?
I think there would have been an element of preparation. You're not exactly going to leave it in the map pool and not have something on it. I think, even though it does happen, it'd be rare for something like this to occur, particularly from teams that have actually held the core of their lineups together for quite some time. So there is at least that general understanding on a map, or at least a general base level of strategy that they're going to possess.
Okay.
Yeah, I think playing Train for a team like XL5, it's something that has to happen eventually. They have to play it. They've got a good map pool as it is, but it's just with maps like Nuke coming along and maybe having a weakness on another map, maybe they've just decided, look, we've got to start playing Train.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Chiefs have played Train for a very long time. They were probably the first team to start looking at Train through their previous iterations of lineups. So that knowledge, though, it carries down through the lineups, and new knowledge comes in with the new players. And so we're looking at basically, they've chosen Train for a reason. It's because they've got all that knowledge and they've got all that confidence, and now they've just wiped the floor with them on the first map. So it's looking pretty good for Chiefs right now.
Well, another day at the office.
Yeah, exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to find out. We're going to throw it over to the casting desk with Elfish Guy and PDG.
Thanks, Ben. Yes, it is some troubling times coming up ahead here for XL5. The analyst desk spoke about it. I've spoken about it. I don't think Train is going to be a very easy map for them to negotiate.
No. Elfish, troubling is the state of my moustache to most people. Exile5 are in a serious hole.
Yep.
Serious hole here. They not only got not outclassed with their aim, which a lot of us predicted to be so. Chiefs were very aggressive and they cashed in a lot on the aim. But as a team, where we saw Exile5's strengths lining up, we only saw Chiefs' strengths.
Yeah.
So we couldn't isolate anything that Exile5 had done better than Chiefs, and that's when you're in a real spot of bother. They're going to have to pull some magic out of the hat, proverbially.
Yeah, well, I mean, we did see Seth and Pex doing okay last map, but I think they're going to be the ones that are going to have to really step up, and we kind of did discuss this a little bit before the first match. Those two are the players that really have been fragging at the moment. I think Mizu is the other one, which, is another one that we'd look to pick up those frags, but certainly at least one of those 3 has to have a really, really big game here.
Yeah, look, Mizu is a bit of an unknown entity for me. The reason is because he had so much potential. Before going overseas with that legacy roster.
Yep.
He's got that international experience. He's come back with it and done just about nothing to promote his game. Like, I see him, he's not that he's a bad player, he's just the same player that he was 4 months, 5 months ago, 6 months ago.
Yeah, he hasn't been developing.
No, correct. And if you want to continuously, if you got to continuously work on your game to become the best, then that's what you got to do. And I haven't seen so much from him, but Exile5 are here ready to play, and they're going to have to defend this outside push here from the terrorists coming in over the wall eventually.
Yeah, straight away you can see an execute coming out here for the Chiefs onto that bomb site. So well versed in at least the A take. And Nikez will get a very free bomb plant here. No! Okay, Ferg getting just a little bit lucky, but I think there's a little bit of element of skill involved in that as well there for him.
Well, yeah, the smoke was only beside the bomb train, so it was obvious to him that the plant was going to go down, and Ferg picks up actually his 3rd kill of the round by looks of things. Yeah, he's looking at single-handedly stimulating this Exile5 team. The fist bump comes out for Ferg, and
yeah, a few cheers from the Exile5 camp.
that's it. And did they start the second map the way that they started the first map?
With the pistol round.
With the pistol round
However,
victory?
more convincing this time.
Absolutely more convincing. It wasn't left up to a 2 versus 1 for Pex, but it's the problem I see with Exile5 is they have no safety net here. At any time, Chiefs can just turn it on and do something random, unexpected, and unrelenting to continuously pressure them into bad spots. So even on these eco rounds, they need to be very, very careful. They've only got 4 SMGs, and Ferg with that rifle is going to play a bit of a range game. So there's still an opportunity here for Chiefs to maybe at least get a bomb plant down.
Chiefs, interestingly enough, opting not to buy into this round. They didn't get the bomb down, and typically when that happens, you'd see the T-side buy in and save up for the 4th round. But regardless, they've decided just to go for the pistols and see how they can get anything done with them.
Interesting here. I think that Chiefs are shaping up for maybe a Galil buy. They know that Exile5 love those SMGs on the 2nd round, and if they do go down heavily here, it's not out of the realm of possibility that Destiny might call, or Moe, whoever's in charge, might call the Galil armor buy, which could then put them back in the game if Exile5 choose not to upgrade. So it's actually in the Chiefs' best interest here to not get a kill and force any of these players to upgrade their weaponry.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're going to get a kill, you'd take Ferg and maybe save that rifle. But I think that's really a pretty difficult ask here. That would be the ideal scenario. Probably not going to be happening. Burn will take a bit of damage there. Actually, Ferg is the one to go down, but someone will retrieve his rifle, so it's basically irrelevant.
It would be very, very interesting to see if we see the Galil buy pop up here. I think that's what they were setting up for. I wonder if Exile5 will be aware of it. All the 3-4s coming out. This is decision time here for Chiefs. Will anyone crack? Yes, I think we have a buy round here. Chris O'Wow getting that AK. AK's across the board. No utility. No head armor. Crazy. I thought at least they would go for the Galil head armor and a couple bit of utility, but they're going to back themselves right in here. Early days. Now, that's interesting. Chris O'Wow spamming his Glock intentionally there to conceal the weapon buy, but nevertheless, Chiefs are going to be in a commanding position to take this one. But
well, if they hit their shots,
such
and
a
they
risk.
do. Ferg already going down here. They have that player advantage. Burn not quite going to get the damage across to Mizu, I believe it was, but they've spotted him out, and now he's in a bit of a dangerous position. Jumping around on the bomb train is going to spot the player up there on the train, but again, not getting the damage across.
No, and it's very hard to get the damage across with only these SMGs when you're coming up against AKs and Destiny. Double headshot there, taking the bomb train by force, and he'll flank around towards the cutout underneath the ladder, but that won't be enough. Zorbot will find Burn, and this is massive for Zorbot. He needs to go absolutely ham here with that AK, otherwise Exile5 are going to slip into yet another round loss here.
Yeah, Christo spotting him out once again. Zorbot jumping around the green train is going to be subsequently eliminated by Christo. Seth has been spotted out as well, and I mean, that was a good round there for the Chiefs, but it could have gone so much worse. Imagine if a couple of those players had been binked up by the SMG straight away. The AKs go in the hands of Exile5, and there goes a few rounds of your first half.
It's the story of the series, Jordan. Every risk that Chiefs have taken has been to the highest possible level. They've risked everything for that round. They haven't got head armor against SMGs, which is ludicrous for me because you knowingly go into that round. The thought process is we're going to upgrade into rifles because they have SMGs, but you don't buy head armor. So that's craziness there, but it'll work out for them as they'll take the round. Exile5 putting pressure on now. Pex picks up a kill with the pistol, and there's a lot of work here to do for the rest of Exile5 if they want to come away with this one, but it's looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, Zorbot picking up Destiny there, one of the key players for this Chiefs lineup. You can see Mizu just spamming away with the Scout as well, trying to get as much damage across for the pistols to clean up. At the moment, though, Chiefs are starting to pull ahead in this one. Christo finding another one. Nikez grabbing one, but is traded out by Mizu, but he's the remaining player. Nikez only on 4 HP. Chriso, though, will be presumably doing the lion's share of the work here. He's actually got the bomb and heading perhaps towards the B site while Nikez tries to slow down Mizu here.
Great read there by Mizu. He's unable to make that work. I mean, you have to hit that shot if you're Mizu. Great read, by the way. Comes down the ladder. Strafes out, immediately makes that decision to go to the back of the train yard to cut off the rotator. Gets it right. He's on 4 HP, and he can't land the pistol frag. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, you got to make that frag at this level, and he does not make it work. He'll go down. And Exile5, though, look to rebuy into this one with the double AWP setup straight away at the first possible opportunity.
I was wondering when we were going to be seeing the first double AWP setup coming up. And I think we saw one last matchup between Parallax and Atletico, but very briefly. And, I mean, it's been something that's been quite powerful, especially in the Australian scene, the Australian and New Zealand scene, throughout the past few months. And, well, we're seeing it coming out here very early on train.
Absolutely, and I don't think that Chiefs will be all that aware of the double AWP setup actually coming out at this point because of the way that Exile5 are 2-2 right now. They won't think the money is that strong, and that plays right into the hands of Exile5 because Mizu can pretty much go along undetected with that AWP until fired. So they're going to assume that any AWP action is going to be sets, and he will get a double already. So brilliant start here for the Exile5 AWPer as Ferg spots one out. But his...
Destiny scampering back up the ladder.
You know what? 5 years ago, Ferg makes that kill.
Yeah.
He makes that kill. His reactions are slowing down. Father Time is undefeated. Father Time is undefeated.
Call the poor guy out on stream.
It's my job.
I guess you're speaking from experience, Pete.
Absolutely. I got out of there when I saw all these new guys coming through. I got right out of there.
See you, boys.
Real quick.
I've had my time.
I'm heading back to the desk where I belong. So that's interesting there for Ferg, although his positioning was exemplary there and continues to structure his team in a fantastic way in this round. And Molotov comes out and Zorbot take down Nikez. And well, Ferg wasn't able to hit the shot. His rotation communication was on point. He got his team in the right position. That's all that matters for a man in his position. Just having a bit of fun.
Now, question, did we see Chiefs see Mizu with the AWP? Like, I mean, have they figured out now that they're up against the double AWP?
Potentially not.
Exactly. I mean, that's a free round almost there for Exile5.
Indeed. And Seth there wins them the round early on. He takes out Chriso and then gets the double in Vines. So when you think about what we've seen transpire today, both in the first matchup between Parallax and Atletico, but more intensified in this Exile5 Chiefs matchup we're viewing, is the fact that a lot of these rounds are being won in the first 15 to 20 seconds of the round. I mean, there's not a lot of late round execution being displayed by any of these teams apart from Parallax, and that's why they look so great, is because once they lost that early pick, they were able to come back against Atletico time and time again and really punk them in a meaningful way. And I think right now, both of these teams are sort of stuck on the same train of thought. We just got to get every round we possibly can. We're going to gamble on every possible round, and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, you can see the pistols coming out here for the Chiefs, and I was going to say maybe that's going to allow them to overwhelm a bomb site with their orbs there, but Mungo you can see immediately going down straight away there. Chiefs finding themselves in a dangerous position. Having said that, though, Destiny able to trade one back. Seth finding another onto Destiny, and still, the orb from Mizu has not been spotted by the Chiefs.
No, and this is great defense being set up here by Exile5, and I think this map does play into the hands of Chiefs. However, they got to start on T side.
Yeah.
If Exile5 had to go on T side, this would be a very, very different prospect for them. But because they've been able to secure that CT side, they're looking okay right now, and they should be able to pick up their fourth round.
And in theory, be able to take through 4 guns into the next one as well, which is important. Having said that, Chriso not too keen on the idea, picks up Mizu. And actually, that's an AWP. I don't know if he recognized that the AWP was there, but regardless, Chris able to take that one down. You'd expect Exile5 probably going to be able to retrieve that. But I guess food for thought. You'd
hope so, but they don't really want to give another gun away at this point. So chasing that secondary AWP down may not be a priority for them just because of Chris Owa's position and his ability to cover that space that AWP's in. So it doesn't look as though any of those dots on the radar are particularly keen on going towards the back aisles. And because Seth's already got one, they'll just let that one slide right through.
So I wonder here if Exile5 opt to buy into another AWP or if they just decide, you know what, we'll keep with that single AWP setup. We'll be coming to the fore momentarily.
He didn't even get to fire it, I don't think, Mizu.
No, I'm fairly certain he didn't fire the AWP at all.
No, and that was over the course of 3 rounds.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I guess it wasn't really needed, so EXILE5, as a result, maybe just defaulting back to a regular setup.
Yep. And Seth will unfortunately try and take the same duel he took last time and get punished for it. Oh, he doesn't land the shot there. Chriso.
The shoulder peek.
The shoulder peek baits out that AWP shot, and I thought that he was going to pick up a free kill there, but great job by EXILE5, concentrating on their mechanics under pressure and getting that shoulder peek to work well for them. Now, of course, EXILE5 concentrating heavily on that outside bomb slide, and with good reason, but it looks as though the attack here is going to switch to the B bomb slide inside for Chiefs.
Seth once again holding a good angle. Mungo probably going to be right into his crosshair. Unfortunately, not able to land the shot there. But now Chiefs know exactly where that AWP is. He won't miss the second there. And well, Pex, the spray down wasn't that great, but in the end, got the job done onto Burn. Chriso able to trade one back. He's going to have to come up huge in this one. Already down to 59 HP, so not a huge amount to play with. But that AWP here for the Chiefs is going to be crucial. Yeah,
Nickers there gets a lot of damage done onto the guy up onto the sniper deck there, but it's all going to be left up to Chriso and his ability to go massive. He won't even get one. Pex on 15 HP rolls the dice up that ladder, and this is a case of gamble versus gamble here right now in this game of Train, and EXILE5 getting their money's worth right now.
They certainly are, and Chiefs opting to buy into this one. Chriso, unfortunately, going to be taking away only a scout here, and once again, we can see the double AWP set up for EXILE5. Hopefully for them this time, at least, it'll be a little bit more useful. But we'll see what the Chiefs do. Looks like they want to move quickly onto the A-bomb side, or at least Mungo does. He doesn't really have a huge amount of backup, but certainly getting really far into the site, and now you can start to see the trickle of the Chiefs members slowly but surely following him into the site. Mungo, very dangerous position here. Destiny needs to cover him, and will do it well. Zorbot being taken down as the first kill of the round.
Yeah, great Molotov there, actually zoning Zorbot off into a bad part of that side alleyway in outside, and Seth is going to have to come back and make this work for the Chiefs. Pex is going to come out of the small ladder room. He drops down, but Burn is not phased by that flash, and Pex gets the old how's your father treatment as he comes down the ladder, but Seth will pick up the AWP kill there, and now begin, well, I should think, to retreat away and save that AWP.
Yeah, it certainly seems like he's agreeing with those sentiments, but this should be a third one on the board here for the Chiefs, and I mean, previous map on Case, we did see EXILE5 getting off to a pretty good start, and then once Chiefs were able to get a round or two on the board, they basically just ran away with it. So this is kind of the point for me here where EXILE5 really need to be careful that they don't let Chiefs back into this first half.
Well, EXILE5 really need to prevent Chiefs from getting to 5.
Yeah, I agree.
If Chiefs get 5, they'll be very, very comfortable, even losing the pistol, that they can then close out the rest of their gun rounds in moderate peace, as Mungo gets very, very close to Seth, but cannot find the kill. Lots of money on Seth, but not very much on Mizu and Ferg here, so bit of gun juggling required here for the EXILE5 circus act, but as it gets underway, everyone should find themselves a rifle, but let's face it, must win here for EXILE5, because if Chiefs win this one, they're going to get their 5 instantly, as EXILE5 will go back onto straight eco.
Interesting in the previous round that the Chiefs, they kind of opted for a bit of a quicker strategy, and it worked out quite well for them. Seems like in that sort of respect, they almost looked for another quick strategy there, but Burn gets immediately dominated by Steph.
I mean, that's perplexing once again. I should say perplexing, because he just ran out by himself after you get the initial pick. You only continue with that push if Seth goes down there and gets one bullet and you're trying to even up the score. If your AWP gets a pick at the start, you don't, as a rifler, throw it away, because that's just more work now that Seth has to try and find for his team in order to put them in a good position to win. Although Ferg here is completely on the flank, so this is a devastating rotation here. As Seth
they don't even need it.
Has ended up doing a lot of work there, picking up a tray, but it's not over yet. Mizu fights back. It is Nickez in a 3 versus 1, but Ferg should have this one pretty comfortably worked over.
Oh. Yeah, well, no trouble at all there for Ferg, and that's actually a really good result now for EXILE5, resetting the economy here for the Chiefs.
Yep.
And setting themselves up on a pretty good springboard to actually propel themselves to a good first half score.
It is, but once again, the damage being done by Chiefs there on that round. You can see $0 on Ferg, a bit on Zorbot, but that's about where it finishes. The rest of EXILE5 are in financial difficulty if they were to lose this round. And for me, it's all about Chiefs' ability to accumulate frags. If they can get 1 or 2 kills every single round, like ideally 3, but as they're on eco, they don't really expect to win this one, but they just want to get as many guns out of as many hands as possible. And then, because once they do win one, they want EXILE5 to be on that eco.
Yeah, well, at the moment, it's not happening. Exile5 not letting them even get a sniff into this round. Mungo and Nikez already down. As I say that, though, Burn finding a kill with the Deagle, as he does. And there you go, Destiny with one as well. So, you know what? You can never count the Chiefs out in a pistol round like this. They're such good pistol players, and especially Deagle players.
Yeah, and Destiny gets a lot of damage onto Seth, and Burn will try and make his way around the back of the green train. Oh, this is very,
I want to
very
see this
dangerous.
happen.
Oh, no, I thought that it was going to magically happen here for Burn, but he's not managed to get any good positioning there onto Seth. Seth picks up yet another triple, and he has raced out to 11 and 4. So, once again, a single player for Exile5 standing up to be counted. And it's going to be on the Chiefs here to eco once again. They might force a buy, they might not. And once again, they will take the gamble, take the risk, and hopefully it works out in their favour. That's how they played the first match. And indeed, this one, it's worked out so far for them. So they're going to stick to their guns, literally, metaphorically, and try and work their way back into this match.
Once again, a pretty quick entry towards the A site here for the Chiefs. This time not working out quite so well. We see Nikez and Burn going straight away down. Mizu able to get one as well with his AWP. Mungo on the lurk around behind, but really he's easily covered off here by Zorbot. And Chriso, the remaining player on 7 HP. You have nothing. You can't do anything as Chriso. Walk out of the smoke, see fire. Okay, better go back in the smoke.
Shot that. Don't know how he didn't die from the Molotov then, but it seems as though he was sitting in it. That's actually, while this round winds down, and we see something amazing, Mizu takes down the last kill. I was actually having an interesting conversation with Sniper in the green room prior to both these series starting with Athletico, Parallax, and Exile5 Chiefs. And he was raising some interesting points about getting a very finite area of damage for that Molotov to hit because it takes the random element out of the game. We want to do that as much as possible.
Yeah.
But he also talked about developing a feature for just the spectator function. So it's purely a spectator function where you can see the burn radius of a Molotov. Yeah. So that would allow us to make more accurate gauges about people working their way around and into Molotovs. So yeah, it's interesting that hasn't been implemented yet, but Pex and Ferg do what they do best, pick up a kill each, and now put Chiefs back on the back foot once again.
Yeah, Nikez getting a bit of damage across there to Zorbot, only on 2 HP, so he needs to be careful with what he's doing here, but the rest of his team absolutely have it in spades. Mizu and Ferg finding another one for themselves. Nikez actually able to take down Ferg here. If he can take down Zorbot as well, it's not a bad eco coming out here from Chiefs.
One more here from Nikez, and he's really done a good job here, and he won't get it. Mizu gets the kill, and gets the easy kill, mind you. Lined that one up well, and Exile5 looking like they can really take it to Chiefs right now. But I just have to hope that Exile5 can hold on their T side, because they know they're going to get what's coming on the Chiefs CT side of things. They just need to hope that they hold on to this one 12-3 or 11-4 and not let Chiefs back to that 10-5 score we were talking about.
Yeah, I mean, there is still plenty of opportunities here for the Chiefs to actually come back and make this a reasonably good T-side. Burn will start off well. This time, he's the one taking away the AWP. So, again, that versatility that we spoke about for the Chiefs paying dividends.
Absolutely, and the Chiefs will now back away. Mizu hits Chris O'Hare with a nice-looking AWP shot there, and he'll continue to fight hard. That one looked like it was on point, but obviously the electric box there, close to the back of the train yard, has prevented the hit. But Destiny works his way around the smoke, knows exactly when to stop spraying there to avoid the bullet traces being used to fire back with the AWP. And he will dance and dodge his way around outside. Very dangerous here for Exile5 though, as Nikez picks up Seth.
Mungo as well, going to be chiming in onto Zorbot. Nikez find his second onto Mizu. And all of a sudden, the Chiefs should be able to take this round out. So 4 on the board now, and well, you mentioned the 5 rounds, but if they can get to 6, that's going to be a really good first half here for the Chiefs.
Well, yeah, because 6 is more than 5.
It is indeed. So I'm glad you enlightened us to this fact.
Yeah, well, I mean, if they get more than 5, yeah, it's going to be great. Great, fantastic.
Can't complain.
Can't complain, won't complain. And Exile5, once again, in a very precarious position with their money, I should think. No, they're going to easily cover this one. And in fact, a gutsy call here from Exile5. They're actually going to eco this one in lieu of buying guns to make sure that last round they don't have a dodgy buy. So they've gone for 1 complete buy with 2 AWPs potentially over 2
Chriso getting punished.
Average buys, yeah.
But you're right, yeah, this is obviously the eco round coming out here for Exile5, and they're actually not doing a bad job of it. Pex has found himself an AK. He's got armor as well to work with, so wouldn't be surprising here to see Chiefs lose a couple more players.
No, and Mizu, aside from Pex, who's above the ladder, has found his way into almost T-spawn area. Pex has a commanding position here, bomb down, above the ladder. It has to be Chiefs coming back to retrieve this one in order to win the round. I just hope his teammates can hold on long enough outside to allow him to keep the pressure on the bomb, because you know, he's going to get flanked from multiple positions very soon. His teammates just need to hide and stay alive, but they're not doing that. Zorbot goes down, and now it'll be on Mizu and Pex to defend against 3 incoming Chiefs players.
Yeah, this will be really tough, though, for Pex. I mean, there's still 50 seconds here for Chiefs, so they don't necessarily need to rush into anything. They can make sure that they slowly but surely are able to cover off the angles. And really, I think maybe the winner of this duel might decide the round. It is going to be Nickez, and really, yes, that basically has decided the round here. Exile5, no hope of closing this one out. Burn, able to take down Mizu. And now, number 5 on the board here for the Chiefs.
Yep.
Looking down the barrel of a number 6. Exile5 will have a bye, though.
I mean, horrible decision-making, though. You've got the bomb down above a ladder where the terrorists either have to come up the ladder, come up a staircase, or 2 staircases. That's the only way into where the bomb was.
Yeah.
2 staircases and a ladder. How do you not play the height advantage? How do you move around in such a way that allows favourable aim duels to occur to the point where Mizu couldn't make ends meet at the end there? But, I thought they had a really big advantage. And they've just let that one go. However, they are on a bye round now, and Exile5, 9-5 up, look to close this one out, but Chiefs have that magical 5 number, Jordan, so this round is very, very crucial here for Exile5.
4 on the A-bomb site, though, for Exile5. They've read this situation very well. The Chiefs executing straight onto that side, and they're going to walk right out into a big stack from Exile5. Burn trying to get in there and get the entries working, but Ferg is able to answer the challenge and picks him up. Does get traded out by a grenade from Destiny. Mungo doing good work there on Mizu as well, and Nickez chiming in with 1. So what looked like a good round potentially setting up there for Exile5 has almost been thrown away here.
Absolutely, and it seems as though even when Exile5 are getting kills, Zorbot gets a double there. Pex is now in a 2 versus 1. Can he spray down? He does. Pex now with his team on his shoulders, having to make ends meet here, 9 versus 5.
He's looking the wrong way.
He's looking the wrong way, but he does find the angle, and he replies now. The terrorist is really in a good position.
Mungo just needs to play it cool here. He's still got 50 seconds to play with. Doesn't need to do anything rash. He's already got the damage across to Pex. Everything is in his favor.
Everything apart from the fact that Mungo really isn't sure of where Pex has gone. He has an idea that he's on the left-hand side of the train yard, but Mungo...
This is a good move.
Yeah, absolutely it is. Mungo, knowing full well that Pex has disappeared into thin air, he's going to go back and plant this one inside. I just hope that he does a left-hand side of like a high ramp side plant here. And
well, he needs to move quick. He's going to get caught off guard, but no, actually, Mungo, perhaps the one playing the hunting game, and it is him to actually mind game a little bit there and picks up the round. Very nice little clutch coming out from him.
Yeah, lovely. I didn't see that one coming at all. I thought he'd
No, neither did I. I thought he was looking the wrong way.
Absolutely. I thought he'd get the bomb down there and just be able to hold that from a pretty open side, but he's gone for the old Duke, and I mean, that could have not paid off for them, but I mean, how many times have we said that about Chiefs? They've taken every possible gamble at the highest possible odds. So Chiefs now, with 6 rounds in the bank on their T side, move into the CT side with a lot of confidence, and now Exile5 will have to prove why they deserve to be here.
Fair amount of utilities being brought up here by the Chiefs on their CT side. Mungo with the 2 flashes and the defuse kit. Probably not surprising, considering he's on that sort of more supporty role because he's the sub. Destiny, interestingly enough, buying a lot of utilities as well. So Chiefs just trying to keep the guys out of the bomb sites here rather than necessarily take the aim duels.
Yeah, but Brown Hall's control taken early by Exile5, so that gives them versatility, but they're not going to use the versatility. They're going to push down low ramp, and this is going to be with the bomb as well. Pex will need to find 1 on the bomb train. He needs to find something. Burn doing a great job. Look at his movement there. Burn just schooling the guys from Exile5 before Pex comes in and gets nailed by Chris O'Ware. 2 players come out of Vines, but the timing there just so far off for them, and they're going to have to make ends meet here. But Nickez picks up 1 and spots out Zorbot. 2 versus 1 here.
Really seemed a little bit nonsensical for Exile5 having those 2 players over in Ivy, but I mean, I feel like if maybe they were on the B-bomb site, then they would have been able to get another kill. The B-bomb site would have been in the favor of Exile5, but really the strategy that they opted to go for there just didn't work out.
Well, when they were going down low ramp and they knew they were committing with the bomb, those guys at and Ivy just needed to go as hard as they possibly could. There's no point in hanging around there at that point when you've committed the bomb. If you're not committing the bomb, that's different. You can hold back and wait for the options to unfold. But clearly, that's not the case. And Zorbot here is going to find himself in a very precarious 2 versus 1. 27 seconds remaining. This is a must-win round here for Exile5 if they want to continue to push this towards the third map. Zorbot does get one now. This is very, very hairy. It comes down to whether or not he can find the second kill or not. Zorbot spots out Destiny. Destiny doing the dance around the train. He will find Zorbot and takes him down. Cool, calm, collected. I sounded excited. Destiny looks frankly bored. And he picks up the kill, and Chiefs begin their CT roll.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess that's just Destiny for you, right?
It is. It is. It's ironic that Chris is the Iceman because he's cool under pressure. I don't know what Destiny is. Just like a fully frozen dude who's just, you just can't read his expression at all, win, lose, or draw.
Yeah.
He's just emotionless in his approach to the game, and it beats him very, very well.
5 SMG set up here for the Chiefs, and you can see XL5 have opted to purchase into this round with the pistol armor buy and obviously the scout as well. So this might be a little dangerous for the Chiefs if they don't play it correctly.
Very, very dangerous here because I don't think that they gambled on Exile5 pushing the buy here. I think they definitely would have thought that they're going to go eco mode and try and get those rifles. Chris O'Wau with that automatic stapler just going to work, making sure that all his invoices are properly attached to the receipts.
To the forehead of Pex. He's going to get one onto Mizu as well. So, I mean, what could have been a dangerous round now for the Chiefs is all of a sudden looking a little bit better. Zorbot will be able to catch Chriso with his back turn. I'm not sure necessarily what Chriso was actually doing standing there in the A main.
No, and Burn's been caught completely off guard there. Destiny does chime in with one, but he'll go down straight away to Ferg as well. Now it's a 2 versus 2. Ferg and Zorbot. Zorbot has got the scout in hand with that Tech 9 as well, and a grenade, so hopefully he can get that off. Oh my goodness! Zorbot, you champion! What a flick shot there onto Mungo, and he gets sent packing, although now Nikez with that, as I said, the stapler
Nikez
down to 1 HP.
Find the 1v1.
Does need to find the 1v1, but Ferg has been able to tap that one down, and yeah, beautiful stuff there by Exile5. Zorbot winning the round with that scout shot. Crazy aim there.
Yeah, that was a little bit crazy. I'd like to see some more of that coming out from Zorbot.
Yep.
I mean, we did say that we expected it was going to be Pex and Mizu and Seth to step up, but it certainly seems at the moment like Zorbot is the one stepping up. He's leading the fragging department for XL5.
It's really interesting. Both teams have taken mass gambles on their T side. Remember, Chiefs buying 5 AKs, no head armor, no utility, and winning that round. Exile5 getting Tech 9 and armor and winning their round against 5 SMGs. Inexplicably purchased by Chiefs. No idea why you've got 5 SMGs on train. Nonetheless, other maps, maybe it makes sense. Train, such long alleyways, such long distance. I don't know why all 5 players were reduced to close quarters combat. It cost them in the end, and Exile5, as we said, have a lot to do here, but they've taken a step in the right direction at least.
Yeah, they. I mean, they've really put a bit of a question mark in the brain of the Chiefs. Destiny, though, will start off well onto Pex, traded it out, but still not too bad of a result here for Chiefs. A 1-for-1 when you're on eco is always going to be a pretty good result.
Absolutely. Great work there by Destiny, and that grenade won't find its mark too well. Mizu overthrowing that one. I mean, he obviously couldn't see Mungo hiding on top of the train there, so he didn't know, but yeah, there's a situation here for Exile5 where they themselves have 3 SMGs and only the rifle on Ferg. Which, again, to me is perplexing. Like, why does Ferg have the rifle? Why doesn't Mizu have a rifle? Or Zorbot, who's just been on fire?
Yeah.
Why does the in-game leader and theoretically the worst mechanical and, I guess, you know, the worst player on the team in terms of his aim, why has he got the only rifle? It doesn't make any sense to me, Jordan.
Certainly doesn't, and I guess these are perhaps the little things that maybe set other regions apart from our region, but I guess that's probably a discussion for greater minds than mine. X5 Ferg, though, going to be getting that 1 kill with the AK. Seth will be able to pick up one onto Chriso as well, so can't really question it when Ferg is able to get the frags anyway.
No, and I guess I do have an explanation. I'll just wait for this one to peter out here. Nikez trying to get a kill, he doesn't.
Huh.
So
well,
the running theory perhaps from Ferg, and I will confer with him after the game, after the series, just to make sure. But I think his angle was, all right, I'm actually not trying to get any kills here with this rifle. I want all the SMGs to try and get that money bonus. Point. So perhaps in that defense, that he was thinking about the money of the rest of his players. Who knows? Maybe they just misbought. Maybe he's a genius.
Yeah, well, I mean, it worked out for XL5, so may as well keep it going. Mizu going to start off with a great shot there onto Burn. I mean, obviously Burn wasn't really opting to pose much of a challenge with that pistol, but still, it was a nice one from Mizu. And interesting that they've put Mizu on the AWP here on the T side as opposed to Seth.
It is interesting. I'm not sure why exactly, but let's be honest. Mizu has done a completely acceptable job with that one. Seth has also done a great job. So yeah, it's weird that they've split this up, but as long as they're happy to do so, Seth chimes in there with a double after Mizu picks up the entry. They're working well as a team and as a partnership. Yep. So nothing untoward going on there. Now it'll be Mungo and Nikez trying to do the impossible. It is aptly named as such. They go down, and Exile5 extend their lead 12-7. But here's where the real game starts.
Certainly does. The Chiefs now going to be able to buy up here. Chriso straight away going for the AWP. We saw him doing some okay AWPing on their T side, but I don't think it was anything too flashy. So hopefully for him at least, he'll be able to, I guess, hold down the positions here on the CT side for the Chiefs.
Absolutely, and Chriso is going to play a monumental role here in fighting either Mizu or Seth with that AWP. He doesn't know just yet who's going to have that one. Seth is pretty okay with having this AK in hand, but Destiny's opening himself up slightly to this angle. He has been covered, but one flash towards his direction, one misstep, and he becomes a target for Seth's AK.
I got to say, I think Curso probably a little bit of a stronger AWP on the CT side than the T side, so I guess Chiefs have that in their favor.
Well, I mean, that's the difference between being a proper AWPer and just being a part-time AWPer.
Yeah, correct.
It's easy to be good on the AWP on CT because people are running at you. On Terrace, you really have to open up the different areas of the map, and he's exhibited that to perfection. Chriso taking down Mizu, who had to open up the angle onto Chris, and he's been taken down. Destiny picks up a double. He's doing great work, and almost a triple. Pex does get one, but Chris trades straight away. And now Chiefs look as though, finally, once they have guns, it's taken them a while, but now they have guns, they look to be in full swing. And Jordan, this is something that we saw on the first map of Cage. Chiefs were willing to eco for so long. They forced so many times on Cage, and it didn't work, it didn't work, it didn't work. They finally got guns, and they closed out the whole game. So it'll be interesting to see here whether now, with full complement of grenades, kits, armor, the works, if Chiefs are going to drop around here, or whether they're pretty comfortable closing out.
Certainly seems, at least from that round, that they're going to be looking quite strong in these rifle rounds, but we'll see how it turns out. Chriso changing up his position once again, moving over towards Ivy, spots the shoulder of that player, but it would have been a very, very tough shot to hit. Yeah,
he definitely predicted that one, so good angles chosen by Chris, not able to make the shot, but Destiny here, so deadly from these sort of gimmicky troll positions. He's the king of the swindle in Australian Counter-Strike, and he'll continue to find weird and wonderful ways to make other players on the other team lose their mind.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of strange, though. We don't necessarily tend to see Destiny picking up things like the Mag 7 and playing in these positions. Generally speaking, he's just using the rifle. And
yeah, we don't see him buy those, I guess, more versatile weapons because he's so good on pistols.
Yeah.
So he just backs himself to buy a P250 rather than having to spend the extra money buying a real, like a quote-unquote real gun. He'll back himself every day, and either with a pistol or with a rifle, there's nothing in between for him.
Certainly seems that way at the moment, and looks like people are getting close to him, but bypassing him in favor of the B bomb site, which is at the moment going to be the home of Burn and Chriso.
Zorbot's going to have to play a huge role in this one. He's actually the lurker coming through Brown Horse, and he's going to have to defuse the Destiny situation eventually as Chris provides great support there for his teammates. That grenade will land, but 40 HP is the score. He'll go straight down Destiny. And as I said, Zorbot not able to cover the flank. He was way too late, out of time, out of touch, and feeling like a Hall & Oates track.
Yeah, that was, again, another nice performance coming out from Chriso. 2 kills in that round, 2 kills in the last round. So getting that AWP on him is paying dividends at the moment for the Chiefs.
Absolutely, and I guess there was a lot of fuss being made about the level that Parallax were playing at. But the level that Chiefs are playing at right now is not the same as Parallax. However, the style they're playing is incredibly frustrating for a structured team like Parallax. So even though the level, like if Parallax went up against a top European team right now and Chiefs did, Parallax would perform better based on what we've seen. However, Chiefs versus Parallax, who knows? Destiny pushing, getting people out of shape, getting people out of formation, changing it up, making the other team guess a lot. I mean, when you take these sorts of gambles like Chiefs have, yes, it's a lot of risk for you, but it's also a lot for the other team to have to figure out in a very short space of time.
Oh, Mungo. Well, I mean, we questioned him having the AWP in the last map, but he's all of a sudden just picked up 2 nice frags. As I say that and applaud him, he misses a reasonably standard shot there. So let's not get too far ahead of ourselves, not get too excited. But Mungo doing some nice work. Destiny denying the plant there from XL5. Really good stuff from him. And I think that's probably just the objective at the moment here for the Chiefs. Try to deny the plant and not lose any guns.
Yeah, Destiny, you can see here the confidence, not reloading his gun at all, and he will do so now. Mungo has actually let one through the net here, so he may lose his AWP. Oh, dear God, no.
Nice
Zorbot doesn't make that work, and you need to hit that frag and basically try and save that AWP from there, because that's a huge value to Exile5, who are suddenly struggling for momentum as Chiefs have their equipment in order and now look to roll on through their CT half.
Yeah, well, that's 3 very convincing rounds in a row for the Chiefs here. So I'm starting to get a little bit worried for XL5. It was looking okay for them, actually, earlier on in this map. But now that the Chiefs really have got themselves rolling, XL5 are going to have to come up with something to stop this hype train.
Yeah, interesting, though. The AWP back in the hands of Seth. So while the duties were handed over to Mizu sporadically on the T side, now Seth has got that back in his hands, and looks as though Mizu is going to try and open something up here. Ferg needs to be very, very careful here. He's been spotted out by Burn, and Ferg, noticing that fact, is going to back away, and a little
unlucky, I guess.
Little edge of the wall there, not being taken into consideration by Ferg, but that's fine. His grenade will do no damage at all. But, you know, Exile5 here have been camped for about a minute in the same zone. They have not moved anywhere. This is a great showing of patience, but also a very big lack of versatility here in their options of spread picking outside. They've just been trapped here. That grenade should be pretty good there. But, look, there's not a lot going on here for Exile5. I'm worried, Jordan.
Yeah, there's 48 seconds left on the clock. They're going to start to have to get a wriggle on. Chriso's going to find one. Seth trading back, but Destiny is there to get another one for the Chiefs. As I say that, though, the Chiefs is able to get one. Ferg finding a double on the bomb train, and now, all of a sudden, XL5, we did say something had to come up for them, and this is it.
Yep, but Nikes here can clutch because he's in a great position, but the terrorists know where he is. He just needs to make sure he's working these angles correctly, only opening himself up to one possibility at a time. He will dedicate himself to the cause, though. He's going to come in through this Ivy alleyway, but look, he's going to have a very difficult time because there's someone directly on his right. He knows he's there. Can he get the kill? He doesn't. Zorbot waits patiently, gets the jump, and we'll get the 13th round for Exile5. Brilliant patience there shown in T-Con. I thought they were self-destructing, not taking advantage of certain opportunities. However, their patience has been rewarded, and they did a great job there of closing that one out.
Yeah, so now they've got themselves 13 on the board. Getting very close for XL5 now. Chiefs starting to get worried, perhaps.
Yes and no. Yes and no. If Chiefs go down this one and their money's reset, they'll be extremely concerned, obviously, because Exile5 will be on 14 with the tilt round in pursuit. But Chiefs will always back themselves in with players like Destiny, Burn Are You OK, and Chriso Wow to make this work. The barrage of grenades that comes into T-Con's flushed out the AWP Seth there, and I guess Destiny will try and open up an angle here. But he has been unable to do so. Seth rips his face off, and that's a great start for Exile5.
Indeed it is. Trying times now for the Chiefs. They do not want to let the XL5 guys get to 14 rounds, especially considering the economy situation that the Chiefs are in. Crusoe, though, will respond back. One of the AWPs out of the hands there for XL5. Mizu was able to pick that up, though, and continue the duties.
Yep, perfect positioning there from Mungo. He actually goes back to the exact same spot Destiny was killed in, so not expecting that at all. Chriso will then open up onto Seth the AWP, although Mizu's picking up the AWP here, so this is tit for tat once again. Exile5 trapped in exactly the same circumstances they were last round. It's just, can they execute once again from this spot? They're going to have to make this work, because if they don't, they're in a lot of trouble. Mungo, great firing here. Pex trades well, and now it's a 3 versus 3 here for Exile5, or Chiefs to take control of it. It's Nikes who gets the jump.
Yeah, it wasn't a great grenade coming out from that XL5 player, but that was a great shot from Chriso, and another one. Chriso looking fantastic with this AWP at the moment. 11 now on the board for the Chiefs. They, I guess, survive that bit of a trying time. They survive again another round, and, well, it's really starting to heat up here from here on out, Pete.
Yeah, Chriso, 22, 4, and 16. This is just a typical Chriso map 2 in a series, isn't it? So many times he has helped not just myself, but his teams from this position close out series against favorited teams in terms of being down. He's such a dynamic player, and when it comes to the clutch, he just he performs at the highest possible level. So Chriso putting on a great performance here for Chiefs with that AWP, and now it's on Exile5 to once again respond, and they're going to look to this inside bomb site for answers.
Burn in a really good spot here to stop this aggressive push on the B site from Exile5. If 4 of those players head straight down the B ramp, he's got that M4 in a nice close position, should be able to clean them up.
Yeah, they need to go here. They need to go on Burn while he's backpedaling before he gets that Molotov down, and they do get through, but they've taken some serious damage doing so, and only Mizu will end up with a rifle. Mungo, advantage positioning over the top of the train yard. He will bunny hop across and spot out one of his opponents, and really get a lot of communication out to his teammates where his opponents are, and that's great work by Pex picking up Destiny, but so much work to do left here for the Exile5 boys.
Yeah, certainly a lot to go for, and the Chiefs, though, going to be able to close that one out quite easily in the end. Plenty of time to defuse the bomb, and 12 now for the Chiefs. I sort of expected Burn to do a little bit more work there. I mean, he got the Molotov down, but got immediately traded out. He's usually such a good player in that position.
Well, I expect Exile5 to be able to react quicker to that situation. They'd actually done a great job of baiting Burn into retreating there and throwing the Molotov. Once he did, they needed to jump way quicker onto that frag, get that rifle and start pushing down the flanks of that bomb site, because you cannot hold on train from where the bomb's planted. It's just going to be too much effort. And actually, Jordan, both of these teams going immediately to the double AWP setup, so this should be a fantastic round about to unfold in front of us.
Yeah, certainly is. Burn this time, the second AWPer for the Chiefs, again changing up who's taking what. The grenade going to pop across here, won't do too much damage, but X5 losing players here and losing health quite quickly. Zorbot and Seth down to only 15 and 28 respectively. They have got the 1-for-1 trade, but still, the Chiefs looking okay here.
Chiefs looking okay, and Mizu's going to play a huge role. Once again, though, this outside bomb site's going to be the focus of attention here for Exile5. Pretty predictable, mind you, as Chriso once again has picked up a frag, but Seth finds Burn. Are you okay? Chriso will find a second, but he's been traded out as well. It's a 2 versus 2. Destiny gets the crucial kill, and Seth is left in a 2 versus 1 here with only an AWP remaining.
We've seen him do this once before. It was a 3v1 situation on Cache, online. Now is where he has to step up at LAN. It's only against 2 players, but when you say only, it is Destiny, one of the best players in Australia, and of course Mungo there to back him up. This is going to be an incredibly tough situation for Seth.
Yeah, absolutely, and Destiny's very, very smartly rotated towards the back of the train yard here, and although Seth finds the angle, he was actually looking for Destiny. And Destiny had disappeared and gone back of trains. So even if that duel had gone to Seth, Seth would have had no idea that Destiny had flanked him like that, and he was ready to close out the round. So Chiefs here, looking strong, and Exile5, I don't know, looking flakier than a Greek pastry.
Well, I mean, Chiefs, you know, they did get over that little bit of a hurdle in the round where Exile5 were poised to take the 14th fun, but now everything going in the favour of the Chiefs. They've got Exile5 on the eco, and surely they should be able to pick this one up, head it to 14, and have a great position to close out the map.
Yeah, Burn's not been able to get his grenade off, and that's going to be some real problems here for him as he only gets one once again. That's a much better ability from Exile5 to recognise the pressure being put on there, and they'll actually get in. This has caused some serious dramas, but Pex and Zorbot are just one hit away,
no.
but Pex has picked up a double there. Nikes is going to have to do some seriously good work, and does. So now Mizu here, 2 versus 1, once again with a lot on the line here for his team.
This is looking quite dangerous still for the Chiefs, even if it does go in the favour of the Chiefs, which it does. That was way too close for comfort, if you ask me.
Certainly was, certainly was. Burn being exposed there for his lack of, I guess, feel for where the terrorists are on the map, although he didn't know they were there. You need to be in a better spot than what he was to defend that inside bomb site. So Exile5 do go down in this game, 14-13. Jordan, this is the matchup that I actually thought we'd see on the first map. I thought that Exile5 would structurally be sound enough to get this many rounds and then be blown out in the last few by Chiefs, which is what's happening here. Chiefs got off to a start, and now in the second map look to close out the series here as they go up, and lots of damage grenades. So powerful there. Seth and Pex get rolled, and so does Ferg. Great start here once again by Chiefs.
Mungo spraying across from the ladder is able to get the pick onto Seth there. And also another one onto Ferg. Nikes will find Mizu. And this is going to be 15 rounds on the board here for the Chiefs. Zorbot, all on his lonesome, doesn't have the bomb, doesn't have any utilities to play with, and only 60 HP. The Chiefs here in a great position to be able to pick up this round here and then set their sights on the magic number 16.
They certainly will, and the only thing that stands in their way is Zorbot. on 60 HP, but they know exactly where he is. So this is going to be a very, very difficult prospect here for Zorbot to pull off. And he's bailed, so he's going to try and find a new angle to rework this 2 versus 1, or is he? No, he's going to go back to the T connector, try and make it work. All he's done is thrown some doubt in the minds of the Chiefs players, but let's be real, the Chiefs are in good, well control of this game.
Okay, here we go.
But now Zorbot's exposed. The player knows where he is, and it's all up to him. Burn. He's not going to miss those.
No.
Not at this stage of the game. And Exile5 go down 2 match points here.
Economy looking fantastic for the Chiefs at the moment. They're going to invest in a double AWP here and try and close it out in this one. Should be an interesting round coming out here for these 2 teams. Pretty standard buy coming out from Exile5.
Yeah, but look at the work being done from every player in Exile5. I think it was something like 21, 19, 19, 18, and 20. So across the board, Exile5 have turned up to play. It was just as we feared, though. It's just not enough. It's not enough firepower to get over the top of a team like Chiefs with a Destiny and a Burn and a Chriso, and even in this game, although, as you said, we've been overly critical of him, Mungo, who's played spectacularly well in this game of Train.
Yeah, he certainly has. Seth down to 13 HP, is peeking in towards the A site with the AWP, but at the moment not spotting anyone out. Chriso may be about to take this challenge, but no, it's Destiny. Great push coming out from him. Finds 2, almost gets the 3rd there. Had the good read on the situation there, but Mungo, not exactly sure what he did there, but has managed to kill himself. Yeah,
he's copped a lot of damage and fallen off a train, I'd say, and that's going to be the end of his round as it stands. But Ferg menacing here inside, opens up an angle. He needs to make that kill. He needs to make this work for his team, Ferg, but he actually backs away from a very, very good opportunity. He needed to make that frag because that would have, I guess, split the 2 remaining CTs and opened up one of the sites for the terrorists. But as it stands, he's going to have some more work to do, and he's going to take the gamble, just like everyone else in this game seems to be doing, walking through the smoke and trying to make it work.
Has actually opted to fall back from pushing through that smoke, and in the end it probably would have been a good idea to push the smoke. He would have gotten around behind Burn, but the other players from his team making their way towards the A side, and it seems like they've actually got control of it. The Chiefs giving it up and playing for the retake.
Absolutely, and Nikez is going to be key here as Chriso picks up the headshot on Ferg. He rotates through. Nikez picks up the flank kill. Chriso gets the last frag of the game. Chiefs get this one to go. 2-0, good stick-to-itiveness by them, good ability to work through a lot of the pressure Exile5 was putting on them, particularly on that CT side of Train. Jordan, we said 5 or 6 rounds was going to be the magic number for Chiefs in order for them to come back on their CT side. They got to 6, and it turned out to be too many for Exile5 to have to look to get on their T side.
Yeah, good performance there from the Chiefs, probably not quite as dominant as, well, not probably, definitely not as dominant as Parallax. But they'll go through tomorrow to face Parallax. Exile5 will be up against Atletico. Yep. And, well, it's going to be some cracking matches coming up tomorrow morning.
Absolutely. There's so much to play for here still. None of these teams that played today have been eliminated. It's all about what happens tomorrow morning for Exile5 and Atletico in terms of their fate. But you can't take anything away from the effort Parallax put forward in the first game. But Chiefs there showing that even though they don't have the roster of old and there will be plenty of speculation surrounding their new roster and their ability to play at a high level, they've shown through this series that not only can they absorb pressure, that they can put it on and really get some momentum going when they get their weaponry sorted and they stop taking these ridiculous gambles.
Yeah, certainly some good signs there for the Chiefs. They were obviously down a little bit earlier in the second map there, and they were able to come back. Quite a convincing result in the end. I've got to say, it didn't feel like the Chiefs were going to lose that map at any point.
No, it didn't, and you're spot on because it's such a... CSGO has such a feel about it where sometimes you can just feel in your bones or your body that something's about to happen, some big play is going on, or a team's wrestling away momentum. You're spot on when you say that you never feel like Exile5 had that game safe, and you proved to be completely correct in the close because Chiefs just have too much momentum and in the end, too much firepower, and Exile5 went down 2-0.
Okay, guys, that is going to be it from us here on the casting desk, but I will throw it over to Sandman and the analyst desk to analyze the rest of that game and close out today's broadcast. So take it away, Sandman.
Thank you very much, Elfish Guy and PDG. Yes, let's wrap up the day here, gents. Exile5, kind of, to be fair, they took it to the Chiefs there. We expected the Chiefs to win, but it wasn't a whitewash, was it?
No, they definitely took it to them, that map. They eased off a little bit towards the end of their first half and allowed Chiefs to get enough rounds on the board just to be able to scrape through in the end there. And I think that's where they lost the game. But you just saw a lot of individual work coming out of the Chiefs there. Like we said, needed to happen. It was like we had Nick as one round, we had Chris out constantly just doing his bit, and then we had Destiny with his little bits of brilliance just to disrupt the other team. And yeah, I think Exile5, they lost that in the first half just by they were up a lot, and they were doing really well, but they weren't able to capitalize on that lead they had and take it into a 12-3 half like I said they needed to do, and ended up with a 9-6 half and just dropped off that little bit. They may have lost focus or something towards the end, and that was just enough, because at the end of the day, if they had finished that with the 12-3 half, Chiefs were out of the game for this map.
Well, it's interesting you frame it like that, because I certainly think you're right in the sense that it was always going to be determined by the strength of their CT half on a map like Train.
Yeah.
And they were experiencing a lot of success early on. Hats off to Ferg, who played out of his mind in that series.
Yeah.
But more importantly, in those early stages when XL5 were doing really well, Ferg was key in those rounds. And I think the burden of also having to try and manage the rest of his players to try and bring them up to the same level, ultimately saw a drop-off in his performance, which led to their drop-off as a team in that first half. So unfortunately, they didn't get enough to get them over the line in the end. We didn't see that third map that we were hoping for at any stage today, but it was definitely a better performance from XL5.
Yeah.
And they'll be sad that that wasn't their first map performance.
Yeah,
instead.
like Petey said, that's what we expected to see in that first map.
Yeah.
It was a bit disappointing to see them go out the way they did on Cache, but they definitely gave a good account of themselves on the Chiefs map. And then Ferg played phenomenally. I reckon he's probably their best player for this series. Then you've got Zorbot, who came a little bit late to the party.
Yep.
But where were those guys that we were saying they needed to depend on? Pex and Mizu, they were just nowhere to be seen. No big outstanding individual plays. So hopefully tomorrow they've got a chance. They're not out of it yet, just like Atletico. So hopefully tomorrow they can come back and they can, there's a lot to learn in these two maps. So whoever they're up against, I think they're up against Atletico, is it? In the loser bracket.
We're talking about XL5?
Yeah, XL5.
We will see XL5, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. We have a replay here from this game. Let's take a look at that one. I think it's Mungo there on the scope once again. Look at this, when he's not killing himself or his teammates.
He definitely plays Widowmaker.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is Widowmaker, without a doubt.
Let's hope that he doesn't have the X-ray vision, though.
Well, his McCree flashbang was terrible after that.
Yeah.
That was unfortunate.
He had a good series, though.
He had a great series, and we've been saying a lot, like, oh, he's not very good, but he was good once, and a lot of people were saying, like, let's not beat around the bush. We were saying he's probably the weakest player, and that he's not been playing CS full time, and he has had some horrible performances recently online, but he's done a really good account for himself. He's played really well today. You haven't even noticed that he's been a weak link or anything. He's had a good KD average throughout the maps, and I think he's definitely done his bit. And yeah, we need to remember people were touting him as an up and comer a long time ago.
Yeah.
And he just lost passion for the game. He was pretty good once.
It's a bit like that, isn't it? Especially in a scene like Australia and New Zealand, where you're not earning those big esport dollars, are you? It really is about passion. You can't do it for a job for the vast majority of these guys here. So Chris O'Well is a player that we've seen in the scene for ages. He's been playing on a passion. We have a replay of him right now.
The Iceman.
Yeah, look at this on the
as in
AWP.
cold as ice for those at home. Cold as ice.
Look at that, nice little double
Context
there.
helps, I guess.
Nice little double coming out from Chris. But it's all. I think passion is important, right? It's hard otherwise. It's especially. I hope that events like this help increase passion within the community.
Yeah.
Help, when you see this either on stream, you come to an event, you get to play. You go, oh, this one, we didn't have this 12 months ago.
Oh, exactly. And, we're not getting salaries or anything down here yet. No one's looking at us and saying we can probably pick up the future star of the world here. So it's coming down to what do people have a reason to sacrifice things for? Why would I bother saying no to a night out on the town?
Yeah.
When I could just go do that?
Out with the boys.
Yeah, exactly. Well, why would I come out? Why would I stay home on a Saturday night and do something when I could, because I got a tournament tomorrow? What am I getting out of it? So it's very much a thing of passion and love, a labour of love.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing that's going to keep you in the game long term, and it's going to give you better results as well. As soon as you lose that passion, you'll notice your results are slipping and you won't care because you don't have that passion for it anymore.
Fair enough. Tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, is another day. We are continuing with our Counter-Strike action. We have our upper bracket final. It will be the Chiefs eSports Club, who we just saw take down Exile5, up against Parallax, who this afternoon really showed up for this competition. In the lower bracket round 1 game, we will have Team Exile5, who turned up perhaps 1 game too late, and Team Atletico, who really did not turn up today at all. So I don't know. I think that this Exile5 Atletico game might be a little bit close.
It's going to be a question of who warms into it quickly. I mean, both these teams will be disappointed with how slowly they were to get into the game. And Atletico, no shows in terms of performance. XL5 left at 1 map too late. So it might be just a case of the unstoppable force meets the immovable object. Who knows?
Yeah.
But at this point in time, I guess I'd rate them on a similar plane.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair to say. I think XL5 are looking a little bit more healthy than Atletico. They've got all that LAN experience. Don't have the nerves that it looks like Atletico was suffering. That joking around and stuff and that looking good and being happy while they're losing, that's not exactly something that I see and I go, oh, they look pretty calm.
Well, there's always that nervous
It's just another
confidence.
face of it. Yeah, it's just another face of the nervousness. So
Yeah, okay.
if they can knuckle down and focus tomorrow, then yeah, sure, maybe they can give it to XL5. They've definitely fallen off that pedestal we were putting them on, and so now they've got to earn our respect back, basically.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, they have that opportunity tomorrow. Everyone can go home now. Everyone's still in the competition. Go back, watch some replays, have a couple of beers or something like that, and have a chat, have a think about what tomorrow may bring. That is it from us here today at ESL Studios in Sydney, Australia. A huge shout out to all of our sponsors, Azus, Razer, and HyperX, bringing this to you today. Thank you, Ian. Thank you, Jim. And of course, to Peter and to Jordan. Again, we will be back tomorrow. Our upper bracket final, our lower bracket final, and of course, 2 more games after that. We are going to have a winner tomorrow. We have 4 best of 3s coming out. So we would love to see you tomorrow morning ready to go. Until then, thank you and good night.